Hello, hello. Oh, you haven't got your controller plugged in.
I do.
Oh, there you go.
I was just making sure the preview looked okay.
Okay. That is the chat window. I've made it large on the
Right.
computer screen so I can glance across and read
Okay,
it.
that's fine. I'll just look at your screen to look at the gameplay rather than my nice little preview tab over here.
Now, I need to do what I usually do, which is spend a few minutes remembering what I was doing last time. Where are we on Visionaries? Oh yeah, I've got to break into there. That's in the afternoon. Uh, we should have to be both of those places. Visit 2-bit. Oh yeah, right. That's in the morning? I don't know. I know it's currently. Oh, I could. No, I can't do that because I already killed what's her face, so she won't be there. Hi, Silk. I live, I die, I loop again. I've done that. Uh, yeah, I can shut that down just to show that it works. And then that's. Oh yeah, I should try going to the party. That might be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, you will need to get around to it eventually.
Yeah, exactly. But it's in the evening, so for now I will go and prove that shutting down this machine works. Because I think once you do that, open the container. Oh no, hang on. What did I just click? Yeah, so if I go and open the container, I can tamper with the fireworks and prove
Right.
that that is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and once I do that, it'll like lock in that part of the. Basically, like the way you go through the game is you like figure out how you're gonna kill each person, and then you like have to plan the ultimate heist where you're gonna like kill all 8 of them or whatever.
It's some kind of contingency plan? The part where everyone here is an asshole. Somebody got hurt real bad.
What are the controls again? Circle is crouch. Okay, I think I can deal with that. Watch out! Watch out for what? Oh, there's a camera there. Hack it! Hack it! Hack it! Oh, I can be invisible. What am I doing? Remember, I got really good at doing this. Whoops.
Not this time.
I got really good at doing that. My skills did not persist.
Looks like my
No, no,
skills
no, 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 no,
have
no.
decreased.
Looks like my skills have decreased. Yeah. Fuck off, camera. There we go. Whoops. Whatever. Doesn't matter. 5, 4, 2, 6. Nice. Ooh, an exemplar personal charm. Cut the power supply, jam the rain flaps, rewire the ignitions. I don't know. Rewire the. Right, well that didn't work. Guess I've got to
Is that
jam the rain flaps. You've got to figure out what is the correct thing to do.
just by trial and error, or is there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think
Wow.
you can guess the correct answer. I guessed wrong.
Right.
I think there also is a document somewhere that's like explains what how it works
Right.
and what will make it explode.
Well, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, we're
We
done
tried.
here. Well, that was beautiful. Oh yeah, I can autofill. I'm an incredibly good gamer. Now what? Oh yeah, I need to go to the party. We could try doing that. That's quite fun. Try and kill Alexis. Um, it's a big masquerade ball, so it's lots of fun. Sabotage the flaps, loop and return. Oh, sabotage the flaps. That's what I have to do.
My lack of preview means I have to squint to see that now, but thank you for the pets.
Right. Visionary leads. Right, let's go to... We'll go to... Yeah, we need to go to that party. I can't remember if saving the guy gets you a mask that you can wear to the party, which makes you able to walk around it normally. Is there anything I need to infuse? I don't think so. Weapon trinkets. Who cares about any of this? Hack mines, turn them against your enemies. Pfft. Yeah, there's nothing I really need to infuse. So it's okay to even to die here. I will actually, rather than the machine gun. Do I have a rifle? Yeah, I have this, don't I? Bring this. There we go. Right, search for clues. Mr. Dorsey is a man of decadent taste. His appetites run as deep as his pockets, and a rotten sweetness fills the air around him, or is that the smell of wet dog? Hello, gay Hermea, and hi Dom. Awake in time for a Merle stream. Is it early for you? It's quite late for us. It's like 9 p.m.
Ain't my style.
You're all business all the time, aren't you? What is your style exactly?
Chit-chatting when I should be killing motherfuckers, apparently.
All I ever wanted was for you to surprise me. Do something different, anything.
I'm disappointing you.
Is there a P-Dog present? Yeah, he's right here.
Yeah, I'm just.
He's just looking at
taking
his,
in
he's
the
looking
vibes.
at his phone.
Listen, I had to open a Pokemon pack.
P-Dogs these days always looking at their phones.
Hey, guys. I have top secret information.
Okay, what is it?
I said it was top secret.
Spill it, asshole.
Okay, okay. This place to see the fireworks is next to the stage.
That's it. That's all you've got? Please die.
What? It's gonna be spectacular.
I'm freezing my ass off looking for colt. Very fucking spectacular. We should take him alive and strap him to the fireworks. What? Just a thought.
I don't know where these people are, so I don't want to poke out and like.
This is Alexis Dorsey, Eon program visionary and primary financial backer. I need to speak quickly to the guests of my ultra-exclusive Devouring of the Lambs party tonight. Congratulations on getting invited, guys.
Whoops.
A reminder, bring the required accessory and your appetite. Forget either.
Whoa.
Denied entry. I mean, we are honored.
Right, there we go. Stealthy. I'm super stealthy. It's a good job no one screams when they die.
Yeah, it's something we pointed out in the first one. They're all extremely chill about having like their leg chopped off or whatever you do, and as the first part of your sneak kill animation. You don't go straight for the kill. You go, I'm just gonna maim you first and hope you remain silent, and then I'll just stick the knife in.
Yeah.
Why the
Chop his
why
cock
the cock specifically? This guy's a real freak.
I think it's implied that Frank has feelings
Yeah,
for
that they
Colt.
had like they're basically like exes or whatever.
Yeah, they had some kind of tryst. No. Why can't I hack it? There we go. Now it should kill them and not me.
Oh, the fucking straw didn't go off. Again, I didn't.
Straws.
I'm not looking at the preview. I should probably just look at the preview and screen smaller because actually I can just tell you off.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I'm actually getting good at aiming. They do it. They always do it. They're like, oh, someone died over there. Time to go and investigate. Hi, Sticks. Hi, Ellie. Eating hot chip and lie. Very true. Now, I think most people are just... Oh, God. Oh!
That's horrible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like, yeah, this thing. You have to come and get, like, you have to get 3 keys, and depending on who survives, they input their key.
Right.
But you can loop, obviously, and get all 3 keys,
Yeah.
and then enter that door, and there's, like, some treasure in there, but I don't care about it. Or I do, but, like, I can't remember exactly how to do it, and it's probably not mission critical, so... I'm not doing a lot of the side stuff in this game. They're, like, every level is much bigger than I've, like, sort of explored, and there's loads of, like, hidden weapons and hidden stuff to find, and, like, charms and treasures and stuff. But if in case anyone wants to play it for themselves, I have not been looking at that. That's also just an excuse for me being lazy. I want to mark those people. No, don't unmark him. Oh God! I need to be invisible to get out of here, don't I? Low power. How the hell do I get into the party again? You can't just walk in through the front door. Or at least you can try, but
It's inadvisable.
yeah, it won't work very well. Just regain my power a little. See, I think this. I was saying this in the first stream, but I like the way this game gives you like basically unlimited mana.
Yeah.
Because it just means that there's you're like incentivized to play around with your powers, and because it's a time loop, you don't worry too much about killing people either. So you're just sort of like given carte blanche to just go off and do whatever you want. Gotta be careful. What have I got to be careful of? Cool. I thought you get in. There's a way into the party this way, but I can't seem to remember what it is. 3 times a thief. Claim every piece. Oh yeah.
Huh?
It's like there's 3 numbers that you can. 3 glyphs that you can then enter into that, and you can open up again treasure.
Update.
Treasure, if you're kind of interested in it. I'm more interested in... Where's the way in here? Oh yeah, here. When you're just talking about chocolate beer and then suddenly your friend's head explodes.
Finding out that this guy is a beer cunt. He only drinks He only drinks the draft stuff.
Yeah.
All the more reason.
Hello? We'll find you eventually. We got all the time in the world.
How come she can just walk through the laser mines? That's not fair.
You have an IFF reader. Yosh.
Kill the taps. I can't remember why you'd want to do this.
He hates it when he can't get his chocolate beer. Don't know why that.
Oh
would be
yeah,
good.
well that's how we'll figure out which one is him. He'll
He'll
flip
be
out.
pissed off. Right.
Yeah.
Don't get greedy, Colt.
Don't get greedy, Colt. How do I? Should I just crank? All right. Which one of these is? How about I just turn them all?
Yeah, unless you need to point to a certain one. Just doing a lot seems like it'd be fine. Unless that would
Yeah,
piss
just-
everyone off.
Well, who knows? I can't turn them back on again, so.
It's probably fine. It didn't update your journal. Oh, here.
It didn't update my journal.
Maybe
Oh, well.
that's fine. Maybe it just doesn't do a little. Ba-dum-dum-dum-dum.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Oh,
Assholes is Alexis. Question is, which? Bet this
that
chick
might be him.
himself away with the right inducement.
Inducement.
Inducement. Now there's a load of guys up on the rooftops. Does anyone respect him? A chair.
Sniffing chairs, I see.
I'm not sniffing them.
Sniffing it for the residuum, I swear.
Could just kill them all. Oh yeah, this is like a weird thing he has going on at the party.
Why would you go on stage if you knew this could happen?
Oh, because you think you're gonna resurrect.
That's true. You'd sign up for a talent show where you just get killed if you're if you're found unworthy.
Okay, mark everyone in this room. Oh, yeah, how do we know
What
which
a-
one is gonna...
What a party. Everyone just standing around looking at their shoes,
Whoa,
talking
whoa,
to
whoa, whoa,
themselves.
whoa. Can he see me?
Oh,
Right, let's just case his room.
So what is this?
Oh yeah, you can like change the music.
right.
Enact the plan. I found something that could trick Alexis into revealing himself. What? Alexis thinks very highly of his personal playlist because of course he does. I think if you change the music, he like he loses his mind because he's like,
right.
how dare you fuck with my
I was gonna
my,
say,
my personal mixtape?
surely just changing any of them is fine, right? You don't need to know a specific combination.
Nah. Right, just kill that person. Why not?
T-posing statue back there. Oh yeah, that guy's hitting the yonky splunky down there.
A lot of them are.
Yeah. Now this is the real party room. This is where I'd be hanging out.
I think, yeah, one of them might be him, but they would have reacted to the music by now.
Yeah. Does he like move from room to room, or is it like randomly assigned which room he'll be in?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
We need to get to his bedroom, because that's where we'll find clues about stuff.
Right. A chair for you to sniff there.
I'm not sniffing the chairs. Bow, 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 bow. Temporary group channel evening. The Visionaries are surprised you didn't kill a single one of them. I wonder who that's a reference to.
Uh-huh.
I regret to inform you, initial response to the Eon interview questionnaire has been rejected, not because it sucked, but because it sucked such ridiculous donkey ass that I couldn't patch together a few meager scraps I need. Alexis, you've got an opportunity here to have these rubes eating out your lupine paw. Give them what they want. Give them a reason to worship you. I had Gideon deliver your submission to the library. The code to his safe is 3777. He swears it'll be by noon of the first day.
Like his submission, which means I should just love it.
Okay.
All we got for
I think I need samples of his voice to splice together. Like, I need to get the computer to like splice together a.
that's the one.
Igor Serling answered Julia's questions. He still loves dancing. Wait, I'm confused. I haven't found any clues as to how I'm gonna.
Dies. I love in brackets dies.
Dies. Guns. Go on, I'll sniff the chair. Yeah, I meant to find, like, enact the plan. Found something that could trick Alexis into revealing himself. No, I haven't, though. Don't be shy.
Yeah, the music was meant to be the thing, but it's not really clear
Yeah.
what you're meant to do with it.
Like, I don't know whether that's working or not. That's not Alexis. Yeah, they're all like feeding themselves into the machine. I don't think Alexis ever gets up on stage. Maybe you can like he gets up on stage to rant about his beer. If you like get him, if you turn the beer
Right.
tap off. Oh, That's not good. Oh, I do think that... Right, these are all women. I do think he's got a better gun than most people.
Hmm.
So if you can figure out, like...
I should be shooting something. Or snorting it.
I wonder what happens if I just chuck a grenade down there.
Meow.
Whoa.
There
Oh,
she is.
she's invisible.
Oh, here comes everyone. Great,
Right.
but now she's ruined our vibe.
Yeah.
What a dimwit.
You're telling me. What the?
Oh,
Oh,
it's just complete chaos.
yeah.
Where the hell am I?
Still in the vicinity.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that was him.
I wish I'd paid attention.
To which it was.
Carnisis. Yeah, I'll take that.
What does it do?
Oh, I think it lets you lift people up and throw them.
Ew. Oh,
I knew he
shit.
had a pretty good gun as
You've
well.
been spotted.
Oh yeah? You're right, I have. I'm running out of ammunition. Running out of lives. The real plan was just to start blasting. Basically, yeah. Right. I'm feeling
Now we can
just
just
fine.
chill and wait for them to all return to their places, collect this stuff, and then
Yeah, and then we
do a
can
bit more
we can
scouting
dip.
for what we were meant to do. I guess we'll resume our yonky splunkying. Okay.
I don't know how to cancel this. There we go. How the hell can she see me? Right, I just need to go in there real quick.
Make sure he's dead this time.
There we go.
I think, yep. Get the residuum. The residuoisis.
Yeah, and to get mine, don't I?
Yeah. Twice over.
Yeah. And
Juliana's.
yeah. Oh, hang on. Nexus and an ether upgrade.
Oh, you use ether, so.
Yeah, I do use ether, so that might be worth having. Keep this. Whatever.
Enemies killed while ether is active won't leave a trace. Now, don't they already do that? But like,
Yeah,
is it just quicker?
I don't know. Oh, hang on, that's the
That's
other.
your one.
Yeah, well then what's this one? Ah, whatever.
Nice.
Cold. Look how I died.
Nice.
Just chilling.
Planking over this chair.
Yeah, so
Pretty cool, and-
I remember this party being like the hardest part to figure out how
Yeah.
to do it like elegantly. But you can, yeah, just like
Especially
start
considering
blasting
you're going to
basically.
kill like 3 people here when you get it perfect right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna actually have to like lure a bunch of people in. But we can now exfiltrate, I think.
Mm.
I need to hack the doodad, but oh goodness. Just don't notice me. Why the... How did, like, they just look exactly... What the hell? She's just, like, holding dynamite. Oh, okay. Nice. I wonder if I die from fall damage. I think I do. I'd rather not. Can I walk in through here? That was weird. I got like kind of stuck on the terrain. Oh fuck. Luckily the jamming device is always in the same place. Fuck. It's always okay. Residuum.
Tincture
New messages.
of residuum.
Session suspended. Oh, I've been banned.
No.
They banned me. No.
Unban request. First of all, I was in the right anyway. You just misunderstood my words.
Exactly.
Second of all, even if I was wrong, this is too harsh a punishment.
The maps in this game look like they're so fun to just clamber around in. They really are, and the movement does feel pretty good. I know I don't make it look very fluid, but it can be like really, especially when you've got like the teleportation and stuff. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, you-
So far at least we've kind of just done a glancing view of this game. When you first played it, you really rinsed it for all it's worth and did a lot of just playing around for fun.
yeah, I did a lot of like experimenting around with like different ways of killing people and different like I spent a lot of time just farming out upgrades.
Same.
Heavy breathing. But yeah, you can just like repeatedly like pick things up and farm out like residuum, and like pick up good upgrades and stuff. There's that thing in the place where the cult leader is, that can generate like legendary charms for you, and I like farmed out like all legendary charms by just repeatedly doing that again.
Yeah.
This time I'm being a lot more sort of like just focused on the main objectives. Now I've got a lot of residuum, slab
So what
upgrades,
was the-
erase. While ether is active, killing an enemy doesn't leave a trace.
It's not really clear what the difference is between
Yeah.
normal.
I mean, I'll keep it because why not? Weapon
What's
trinkets.
the gun that you just got? The rifle.
Oh, the rifle. Faster reload, shorter range. That's bad for a
Seems you
sniper
want it
rifle.
for range, yeah.
Yeah. And I might as well keep this because it's just fun. But now I need to start sacrificing things. I don't care about any of these. Shot spread is greatly decreased when dual wielding. Don't care.
Yeah, you never really
Deal
do-
greatly increased damage whilst dual wielding.
There.
Double jump in mid-air. That's one you get for free anyway. Take less damage when people are close by. It's pretty good, I think. Might keep it if I can afford it. Bullets punch through enemies. Mobile marksman. Yes.
I mean, it depends how much it is reduced. Like in most games, I generally have a rule that defensive things have to be really good for them to be worth taking over offensive
Yeah,
things.
that's true. Stopping power, perforator. There we go. If I sacrifice all of that, how much residuum do I get? Yeah, maybe I don't necessarily want it. I do want a stopping power and a perforator, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Can I keep another one? I can't afford any of the rest of these, so I will get rid of. Yeah, probably not worth keeping. There we go.
Nice.
Now.
Meow.
I don't like that this cutscene doesn't reflect my cool style, my steez, my style and ease.
Oh, I have steez. Well, not a lot of any steez.
Check out the power station. Juliana doesn't want me in the power station, which means there's something she doesn't want me to see.
There's a power station?
Yeah, but I don't know how to get in there. All in order. Silence Igor's device. Can do that anytime. Yeah, I need to do this in the afternoon. So go and just prove that I can kill 2 of them there. Sabotage the flaps. I think if I go and do that, or maybe I should go to the power station. Where's the... Yeah, that has to be in the morning.
So
Radio silence.
Do that.
Yeah, whereas I can do the sabotage the flaps in the afternoon as well, though I want to kill Charlie and what's her face? Part of me thinks that this is probably just going to be like, oh, you can't get in there right now. So I'll go and let's try it out. Check out the power station. I could silence Igor's device whilst I'm there as well. Flaps. Yeah, I think the fireworks have like rain flaps, and if you sabotage them, they explode in his face. I don't know what.
Complicated individual.
The guy's an asshole.
I know, but you still kind of felt bad killing him, right?
Nope.
Really? You didn't feel anything? I mean, because most sentient beings feel some kind of remorse.
Can I turn this radio off? Or...
No.
Seriously, there's no off button.
No, it's a safety feature.
Oh yeah, I actually want to sabotage his device here.
Can we 2 birds, 1 stone?
Yeah, I'm hoping. I can't remember which device is his though. Like, which one is it? Oh shit, I didn't bring the right
Hours.
Yeah, I've got the throw people around
Could
one.
quickly reset.
I could do. There's no control panel here. Oh. There is a device here.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's kind of telefrag that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, go ask Alice. Subscribed for... Did I say 8 months? I couldn't see it. It was camouflaged in with the background.
It's a shame the thing didn't go off. But thank you for resubscribing. Yeah, why? What happened? What is going wrong with
We
my
need to do an
alerts?
overhaul of all the alerts. There's many problems.
Yeah, I don't know what's the matter with them though. Like, I don't know how to fix it.
Thank you, thank you.
I love Deathloop. I have changed the... What's that? A gift. Hmm.
30 seconds. if
Let's
you want
see
to-
what happens. New discovery.
Look at you. You've collected the first reward in the Wake Up Challenge A Charlie Montague game. Good game design demands I make you feel extremely
Good game design.
Next reward is just a shade more difficult.
Right.
Okay.
Is he the guy that set up his like LARPing and what's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now the control panel's here, but I can't interact with the device.
Yeah, there was a journal entry where it said reveal the device.
Yeah, so I think he's hiding it using the ether slab. But if we can find one of the power disablers. Damn. How do I do this again? I think this lab has like machines that can disable slab powers,
Right. Oh yeah.
and if I do that, then I can.
Just put it next to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Interfering thing.
Hmm?
Like it's like it does interference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or that it like it's a dampener field kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that. Look at us talking like we know what it does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There we go.
I love you always try to kick. A forlorn hope. Maybe the kick will work this time.
Yeah, exactly. Party, whatever. Psychotherapeutic crispness.
Alice, Merle has played this before and is just forgetful.
I wouldn't say, yeah, exactly. I don't mind if you want to give me pointers or tips if it's frustrating watching me just like,
Well, it's
blindly
also-
walk past things.
It's not spoilers because you have played it.
Yeah, there'll be spoilers for others, but
Yeah.
there'll be being spoilers if I figure it out myself anyway, so. Here we go. Got a field interferer now. Yeah, I put the title of this video as something a little bit provocative. It's imsim just means shooter with audio logs. Discuss.
True.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. Now I need to futz with device G. Which one is it? G398. Crap.
Butterfingers. Stop.
Asshole.
Cool.
Turn that off. Because that will kill me. Well, it'll stop my powers from working. Check the power station.
Gonna sniff that tire.
Huh?
Yeah,
Nah.
Okay.
I'm fine without sniffing that one.
Is Doom free in imsim now? Audio logs. I mean, no. We're basically dissolving the imsim genre. So no, nothing is an imsim.
Yeah. It's less that I
However-
want loads of things to count as imsims and more just I want people to admit that imsim doesn't really mean anything.
However, Doom 3 and this are now within the same genre, which is shooter, and they also both have audio logs.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Also, you, Alice said that they had the PvP element turned off. You have it turned on, but friends only at the moment, I think.
Yes. I think so. Hang on, let me get somewhere where I'm not going to get shot at. Nope, I'm good.
Alice never heard of an imsim before, to be honest.
Yeah,
Don't
I've got it
worry
set
about
to.
It's fine.
I've got it set to friends only. I think the game has crossplay, so if I were to turn it on, like PC players could invade me.
Yeah.
But I turned it on to friends only because I think a couple times in the first stream I just got murked by like people who
someone
are just
sniping
like
across the
way
map.
more. Yeah, exactly. People just sniping me from across the map, and it was like, okay, this is gonna get old real fast.
An imsim is where you put in the code 0451 true.
Yeah, imsim. Yeah, stands for, as Silk said, it stands for immersive simulation.
Although, doesn't that make Signalis an imsim as well? I think at some point in Signalis you put in an 0451.
Yeah.
Because, not to... If anyone here likes Signalis, it's good, but it does a power of referencing.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is kind of like, it's good, but it does sort of just like, I completely blinded by this. One door opens, another remains closed. Based on the Horizon documentation, you'll be able to reactivate the access and join no fewer than 2 of the generators below. What? Oh, I need to run around and... Wait, what? Oh, right, okay, I need to activate the... There's one here, I think. Oh, I need to activate 2 of these generators.
Right.
I also don't know what this does.
I'd hope that getting all the power would make that happen. Because it's kind of...
Well, yeah, but it's a code, isn't it?
Oh, it needs a code as well as the power.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't remember what this is all about. Oh, hang on, maybe if I turn on the generators in here, these doors open? Maybe?
Right.
Right, yeah, I cannot remember what I'm supposed to do here.
Close the thing there. 1 second.
Right, you know what? What's that? Oh, he's got a radio. I'd like to jam that. Oh, I can overload it. Sure. How do they suddenly all know where I am?
I don't think they do by looking at the guy.
No, they're coming up here. Like, what? Why?
Maybe one of them saw the argue through. I mean, it's bullshit, but that's the like plausible deniability on that one. As a result, Alice says, "Yup," and as a result, you had to spend the entire loop turning on generators in the correct order, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think, yeah, this is left behind if you kill an Eternalist, whereas if you kill them with Ether... Oh.
Oh, so can they find that? And go,
Yeah, they
okay.
can find that. Like, it doesn't last for very long, but it lasts for some amount of time.
Right. Okay. So it was worth getting that upgrade.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I haven't equipped it, so...
I mean, even equipped Ether, so...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I need batteries to start these generators.
You need a flying battery.
Yeah, I shouldn't have come here, because I've forgotten... I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing.
Never should have come here.
Pretty much. Well, good job this
Was
door
there
can just
stuff
open.
that thing?
Hmm?
There was another residual thing just there. Back. Last room. Left. Left now. Right. There.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's tons of these things.
I know, but I'm just like, I always have loot brain. Whenever I see loot unpicked up, I'm like, whoa.
I walk past a lot of loot. Look, coffee.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, this is 100% something that can get me killed. Yeah, there's like a ton of mines there.
I don't know if I get the box stacking thing. I know that Prey was an imsim that kind of gave you
Oh!
the equivalent of a box stacking gun with the glue gun. You can stack boxes wherever you like.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of like imsim style games are like, they have a physics engine that lets you like, you know,
It's a systems based.
yeah, exactly, and there are like, you know, different system mechanics that you can like muck about with. Is the kind of like design aesthetic of a lot of them.
Smash.
Christ, I actually just want your battery. Take some bullets though. Thank you.
Was this the best route to take back?
It's a route. What do I do with my battery? There we go. See, no problem.
Alice is saying, if I remember correctly, though, the generators get destroyed by explosions.
Yeah,
So
don't like
we may
blow
be
them up.
fucked for the whole generator business as is, but we're just.
Oh, what? Because I...
That one might have blown up.
Oh, Christ. Yeah. Looks like I fucked this one.
Yep.
Ah, well.
So this is a bust.
Well, yeah, this whole thing was a big old waste of time.
Throw your battery in the dishwasher.
Yeah. I thought I need... Do I need all the generators on,
I
or
think
just...
you need to turn all four on in order. Was the idea?
Well, there's more in here as well.
Oh, shit.
There's like a bunch of generators. Like, I can't... I think once you turn the generators on, then you can, like, open... I think, yeah, once you turn the generators on, you can open these doors, which are located in these places. I kind of roughly remember where they are. And then if you go to those doors, there's, like, little hidden bunkers there. I can't remember what the point of doing all of that is.
Is it loot or is it crit path? Because
I think it might be critical path. Like, here's one of them.
Doesn't look like it has power.
It's maybe not the smartest thing to do when they are... Oh, shit. I don't think I hit him with a single shot.
you just got looped.
Yeah. They're all across the island. I think certain times make certain ones accessible. Yeah.
Is this story based? Not this time.
Not this time.
Well, at least he's got our back on this one, probably due to the generator business.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some info though on the device.
Sign 0. See you at the party, Igor.
Hell yeah, hit that yonky splunky.
Okay. Well, screw that then. Let's go and do something else in the morning. Let's go fiddle with the... sabotage the flaps.
Just notice you have doggo. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah?
I'm
In fact,
already
is
picked
my
one.
hand tracking on? There we go. Give him a little stroke.
I can't shake, otherwise it'll... Okay, no, I can do that one. I can't do the hopping one though, because it like fucks up the preview.
Oh. Right. What do I want to bring with me? Probably the sniper rifle. And also I want to... Headshots have more power. Honestly, those are all good, actually. What I want is...
I don't want to reduce your aura by mentioning your feelings about dogs, like IRL dogs.
No, that's quite right. I think I'm...
Because the irony is you don't like dogs in real
No,
life.
I don't mind dogs, but above a certain size, I just get like I start feeling anxious around them, and I think it's because of a series of about a year, well, a couple of years ago now, I was bitten by a dog that just like it just went crazy. It was being perfectly normal, and then suddenly it just went berserk and bit me. Um, and now I'm just like I can't help but feel whenever I'm around a big dog that at any moment they can just snap and just decide that they're gonna bite you. And I wasn't just it bit me and it was like, oh, it hurt a little bit. I had to go to the hospital to have my leg glued shut.
Yeah.
It was like a big puncture wound, and I had to have like a big I had to have an
injection
injection
as
in case it
well.
had rabies and what have you. It was
Yeah.
just like it was a whole thing, and it just really ruined my day.
You also you have the worst possible boyfriend because whenever there's a big dog nearby, I'm like, look at that dog.
Yeah, you love
I love
big
big
dogs,
dogs,
whereas I'm
yeah.
extremely nervous around them. I don't mind like a lot of big dogs I've seen are quite sort of dopey and sort of like calm, and
Like
they
the ones you
seem
saw
just
on
quite
vacation
friendly.
That were just like big little polar bears that
Yeah,
you could ride on the back of.
they seem quite nice, but yeah, I'm just aware that like at any moment they can just snap and do harm to you. I don't mind small ones. Like I would love to have like a little Pomeranian or something. I think that'd be fun. Like the kind of dog, right here.
I mean, the thing is, the irony of me being this dog is I don't fuck with small dogs.
Yeah.
If it's small dogs, I'm kind of like, I'd prefer to have a cat. Big dogs, though, I'm like, they're cool. I like German Shepherds and like big chocolate Labradors, Golden Retrievers if they're big enough. And all the like wolf-like ones as well, like Huskies and Malamutes.
I think I want to replace this with reduced spread perforator. Is probably better.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Alice says, small dogs are little aggressive bastards. Like, if you think medium dogs are like, they could bite me. I know it's less consequences, but little dogs just will start shit with you.
Yeah, I think the thing that kind of like in my brain, like I don't mind if a little dog is gonna try and bite me because they have tiny little jaws, and it's like, well, who
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like a cat has pretty sharp teeth, and like they can break the skin for sure, but in general, when they do bite you, it's mostly as a sort of warning bite. And even if they do bite you in anger, like their jaws are tiny and the muscles in their head aren't like
I've
aren't
been bitten by a
enough.
cat as like a full-on angry, not just like fuck off, but I also hate you. And it's like, yeah, it hurts, but it's not like, well, I need to go to the hospital now. It's just like,
Yeah,
fuck's ow.
exactly. Yeah, like the. Why do
But
I don't want that
my
clipped.
aunt had a Chihuahua called Chili when I was growing up, and that dog fucking took the piss. Yeah, she also had like a bunch of big dogs that were incredibly chill, but one dog that was tiny, Chili the Chihuahua, and he was a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, so I can kill her, but I don't really want to. I want to sabotage the flaps. I don't know whether the mask maker. I don't know whether that is just like a complete, because you have to go back there to later on in the day to get the mask. So I think that's not actually. I think that's a bit of a red herring. You can't get a mask to go to the party in. I don't think.
Fucking twisted in this run for some reason.
Well, I died.
I guess so, but you die every now and then.
And I laugh and I say, woohoo, definitely.
What? They're not dead? Fuck me.
With your ability, you can kind of just chill like this forever.
Yeah, if you just find a good corner, you can just like hide there. That's why it's a really good upgrade to have for Ether. I didn't want to turn it off. If anything, I wanted it. Right. Well, while they contend with that,
They got the turret.
that's fine. Yeah, this isn't good.
Busted!
Oh, come on.
Damn, they got hands.
Yeah, I don't know what he shot me with.
Whatever.
You said it.
Whoops. Can I climb up there? Nope. I guess not. This is so stealthy. Get my residuum back. The music's playing as though they're still, like, right on my ass. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Right. Take
Right.
two.
Jam the rain
Flank.
flaps. There we go.
Laps. Nice. So that's just the one thing we need to do, and they're screwed. Was there a need?
There wasn't not a need.
That's been your playing card in the last two times I've questioned.
Did you need to do that? I didn't need not to. Like a shadow.
Silent assassin.
Yeah. Now, hopefully Ramblin' Frank will die in the evening.
I crossed Frank's wires. Poor bastard doesn't know what's coming.
I like how he instantly turns to a skeleton.
Yeah. Disintegrated.
And now what do I want to do? Oh yeah, right. Oh, that's in the... After... What can I do now then?
In the afternoon.
Oh yeah, I can go visit 2-Bit.
Sure.
Oh, to do that, I need to lure Wenji to Updam. I need to get, like, I think it's in the library. There's like a visit 2-Bit. I need to do it before killing Charlie though. Which is pretty easy actually to sneak in there without killing Charlie. But yeah, I need to get some like audio tapes of Alexis speaking so that I can splice it into a tape that will lure Wenji to the party as well.
Right. Okay.
Really? How'd you do it?
A series of impossible tests created by Wenji and Igor. I was the only one who passed.
So you cheated.
No, I had actual qualifications. Unlike you, whose only reason for being here was because you survived a botched experiment.
I can't remember the fastest way to get to 2-Bit from here. come on.
Yeah, as we saw on the last stream, the 2-bit is, apart from Juliana and Colts, is the only other one that remembers between
Yeah. Ooh, I'm really low on health, so I don't want to fuck up and get spotted the way I normally do. Nope. Make me invisible. What?
Sorry, I saw an Orc City post on my phone that made me laugh.
Oh, the Orc City guy. I'm so glad that Twitter main characters are back. Yeah. Has everyone else been enjoying Orc City? Some guy trying to...
reviled than the Orc.
The thing is, the guy was trying to drag Kojima, and there's like 100 reasons why you could get on Kojima's ass, but like, the fact that he named a character Fat Man is
Fat
like...
Man is one of the bottom, like,
Yeah.
20 things you could nail Kojima for.
Yeah. Yeah, it is just the meme of like, you know, hey, this thing sucks actually, and the guy's pointing at literally
Yeah,
the coolest
literal
fucking
coolest
shit.
thing ever.
Yeah. God, ramming a machete through somebody.
I haven't been on Twitter for ages,
He
to
built
be honest.
Orc City.
Someone did make a post on Blue Sky explaining because people have been doing Orc City posting on Blue Sky as well, and someone I saw did a post explaining the whole situation that was informative, and they also had underneath a reply being like, here's some of the best ones, and I saw a couple they had the Anthony Bourdain one. You'll never want to stop.
Oh yeah, once you've been to
beating
Orc
the
City,
Elvish
you'll
King
never
to
stop
death.
wanting to beat the Orcish King to death
And
with
the
your
Elvish
hands.
King. The Orcish
No, the
King is
Elvish
innocent.
King. Oh, it's so good. Shut.
Yeah,
She
I
dead?
was
She's
gonna say to you earlier. Silk says I made a very funny post about Orc City, but a certain femboy stole it from me. You just straight up pat theft Silk when you posted on me without quoting.
Yeah, I should have just quoted. I'm sorry for that one. Wait, can I do the?
That's not what you want to do at all. Hang on. You need to like put it over your. Oh my god, you're going cross-eyed.
Yeah, if I cover my eyes. Right.
My favorite half-brain computer. You never told me you could edit audio.
Master Charlie also equipped 2-bit with state-of-art audio edit suite.
Great. So I'm gonna need you to access my main mainframe brain and make me a recording of Alexis.
2-bit makes new tapes from old tape sounds.
Okay. So I need to find a recording of Alexis, and if I do that, you'll be able to broadcast whatever I want.
2-bit said that already. Will help underqualified gunman with best word recording.
Underqualified gunman.
Call me.
Chances are success.
Bool.
Saying
Chances
bool
are
before
boolin'.
any Boolean
Straight
decision is
boolin'.
Pretty good. Chances are bool. Success.
Right, find a recording of. Oh no 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 no. Shit.
Put that there.
Luckily, no one heard that. So. Yeah. So then the library, there's a recording of Alexis that I will avail myself of. Just teleport down to kill my momentum.
Thomas, I too have ghostwritten to said femboy. I feel we could start a sort of like support group about this, because I feel like I'm the ultimate victim of pat theft from a certain femboy. So I'll say a funny joke in our household, and then 5 minutes later I'll look on my Blue Sky timeline and find that someone has just stolen that shit and posted it.
Listen, the people need to hear the jokes. I'm just the avatar for those jokes. How do I get into the library again? Oh, that'll get me in there.
And the ones that are too rarefied for Merle to post are the ones that end up on my timeline. Like, for example,
Yeah,
if you saw my Planescape Torment post today, that was too rarefied for Merle to steal.
Yeah, I mean, I won't tweet about anything that I'm not, involved in and sort of like aware of. Like, I won't tweet about Planescape Torment because I know nothing about it other than just glancing across at the screen and
your journal, etc.
yeah, you updating your journal every 5 minutes. This.
Yeah, it seems suspect.
I'm gonna hate this, aren't I?
Oh, I can talk more about Planescape Torment. I'll wait until you go on a pee break. If that happens. Why is it a bobblehead?
Please stop. Stop it.
What the fuck is this? You want me to give a testimony, right? Tell you all my secrets. Look, hey, I'll sweeten the
I've got to go and take this to 2-bit, but
inheritance and a company worth millions and became a billionaire by 21, right? I'll tell you how. I'll fucking lay it out. It's all
I like that it's a bobblehead.
It's an interesting way to send an audio log, like as a doll saying it.
Yeah, I like the fact that you can, I think, just wait for this thing to stop talking, or you can like sneak past, or like try and sneak past whilst everyone is like, whilst it's talking.
when she drank the others. We're kindred spirits. People don't think of business executives as creative types, but fuck it, we absolutely are. And we share
No batteries, right? Of course.
things. Shit, I can even relate.
Ah,
And business require you to dominate your
here we go.
completely into submission.
Insufficient power.
This ruthless determination to just break down all resistance. There's no denying it.
Here you go.
I got you your recording. Better be worth it, robot.
Charlie says this is useful.
Right, is Merle a robot boy? Because like any other AI, he's stealing our jokes. And plagiarism machine.
Interesting, Alexis. Thank you.
Synthesizer lovey-dovey Alexis. Try a commanding Alexis. Speak some truth with Alexis. Make Alexis give Wenji what she wants.
Say he can get her into the door and up down.
Goodness idea, underqualified gunman.
Stop calling me that.
Recording half splice tight. Please listen. Wenji. Look, I'll even sweeten the deal. That sealed door, you want to open it, right? I'll tell you how. Come to my party. Give a testimony. I'll tell you all my secrets.
Hook me bait. All right,
Nice.
listen to me. When Alexis tries to get on the loudspeaker this afternoon, you can just cut in and play this recording instead. Only play mine. You got it?
I execute command on all loop unless further instructions.
Wait a minute, something doesn't add up.
I gotta ask, if you remember everything, every day, have I ever edited this audio before?
Chances are success.
Then why the fuck?
Master Charlie me plus 2-bit remembers. I dumped 80% myself.
You're actually deleting some of your memory because of Charlie?
It's not what? Master Charlie is my master. I am nothing.
Come on, Colt, you can't leave him like that.
Master Charlie say the captain is fatal error.
Man, what are you doing?
It's not man. It's 2-bit.
Why are you taking orders from this guy? You're way smarter than he is.
Master Charlie is the most brilliant Azure of the century.
He's fucking Kojima.
Yeah. Average Death Stranding fan.
Pop him in the mouth, you know?
The captain references ambulatory functionality, but 2-bit does not have legs.
You don't need to be able to run in order to be strong, okay? You're loyal. That's the strongest quality a sentient being can have.
Captain, define
Very
Not
human
really.
supremacist of you.
Yeah, we're also just blowing smoke up his ass.
Yeah.
Like,
When all this is done, I'll see if I can make you more mobile. Hook you up to one of those snow trucks or something.
The captain is now qualified gunman. To do it. Stored to memory. Never forgotten. Thank you.
Never in my wildest dreams.
The captain. Upgraded to power user.
Oh yeah.
Commands are always processed.
Cool.
cool, nice.
So no previous version of Colt thought to do that.
Well, that we know of.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the little sub-story there of that Colt seems to have been through this entire process before as well.
Yeah.
Which actually does kind of tie into Planescape Torment, but
Yeah, I was going to ask you earlier, and I'm glad, like, the game sort of, I was, the way it, like, the game, that Planescape Torment seems to have been set up is, like, your character is, like, being resurrected
yeah.
from the dead. So I did like that, like, if you die in the game, you can just come back to life again.
Yeah, I went through a bit of a dungeon today that you saw where it was a puzzle room where you had to repeatedly die and go back to the start to complete it. It
Nope.
does mean that the main character as well has an incredibly laissez-faire attitude when it comes to the sanctity of their own body. Like, a lot of things you solve by ripping your own eye out or, like, arm off or stuff like that. Which is quite fun.
Didn't really need to kill that guy, but I did anyway.
There you go. I'm gonna go for a bathroom break. Back in a sec.
Yeah, no, I think I've said before, and like I like characters that have like a very different perspective on like life and their body than humans do. Like in a lot of like RPG, like I think me and some friends are going to try and play a Star Trek TTRPG at some point, and I'd quite like to play an android who isn't afraid of dying because he views that he can just be rebuilt. So yeah, he has like a totally different attitude to like the sanctity of his own life than humans expect him to. 'Cause I think that's kind of cool, having this like totally like alien perspective on the value of your own life. Cool. Did a load of stuff. Didn't actually read through that.
Alexis can't give Wingy what she wants, but that won't stop her from recklessly chasing a chance at knowledge. Truebit will play her my invitation every week. Welcome to the party, Dr. Evans.
Cool. Now, at this time, I can go and practice killing these two. Afternoon Delight. Sounds like they would make the perfect red shirt. I was talking about my my Star Trek TTRPG character
your
idea.
android.
I think my character's going to be on the science team.
Yeah.
But
I mean, science team members often make it to the away team, so
yeah.
that would mean you're a blue shirt by default. So, and also
Yeah.
the whole red shirt thing kind of got inverted after the original series.
Yeah,
The yellow shirt.
yeah. We're gonna be. It's gonna be set in like TNG/DS9 era.
Yeah.
I
So
think.
red shirt means command at this point.
Yeah, I'd quite like my character to either be something like completely, that you wouldn't expect of an android, like a botanist or something.
Yeah.
Or similar to another like TTRPG character I played, and also an android, to be like a computer specialist, but to have a huge chip on his shoulder about the fact that he's good with computers, because like people expect an android to be good with computers,
Yeah.
and he'd be all like, look, that's a stereotype. It's true, like I am good with computers, but you shouldn't assume it just because I'm an android.
Yeah.
Because also he's not an android like Data, and that's another thing about my character is that he doesn't like Data, because Data is like an android that wants to be a human, Whereas my character is like a humanoid robot that actually wants to be more robotic and is fed up of people assuming that he values the idea of being humanoid, and people people have a tendency to treat him like Pinocchio almost, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be a real boy.
Alice says, no, but you see, Worf is so strong, that's why we need to see every single character kick his ass so we know how powerful they are. Now, here's the thing. That's why you need to get on Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine, there's multiple occurrences where Worf is actually a fucking mensch. Like,
Yeah.
is it like a warrior of warriors? Like, there's a time in where he gets captured by the Jem'Hadar, where they set up an arena to fight Worf because he's so strong. He's like a means of testing who is the strongest of the Jem'Hadar. And he is undefeated. He goes on a fucking, like, 20 win spree or something.
Yeah, they all they love fighting him because he's so tough. And at one point, there's like he has to fight for like a whole day. And like even the other like General Martok, the other Klingon, is like, Worf, you've done more than enough fighting. You don't need to keep going. And Worf's like, nah, I can take it.
Yeah, Worf's got his fucking, his sort of foreign exchange student style of Klingon honor, where he believes in the axioms of it without any bending,
Yeah, I also like that about Worf. He's a character who, isn't a pure Klingon, like in the way that other Klingons are, but he's almost sort of more Klingon than most Klingons.
He's had to adopt his own culture, and that's made him like a true believer more than any person who was just born into it.
Yeah, like a lot of the other like Klingons don't really believe in all the stuff they talk about, or if they do, they believe in like a kind of very self-serving version of it. They're like, a lot of Klingons are like similar to the Jem'Hadar. They're like, victory is honor, and therefore like it doesn't matter if you do something a little bit dishonorable if you win, because that's greater honor.
So,
I need these.
DS9 Wolf also joins the terrorist cell against the idea of fun. Okay, I wasn't going to get into it, but there are some bad Wolf episodes too. Like the one where he goes to Ricer and decides, I hate fun, I'm joining the anti-fun faction.
Right, shit, what do I do with this? Order of operations. One 726. Oh crap! Maybe I was meant to go to the Yerva first.
Ew.
Yeah, maybe I was meant to work out what these are first.
Well, you can see
Oh no, hang
differences
on.
there.
Yeah. I need to work out what each. Right, is that the first?
That's the second one, I think?
The first one is that.
That's the
Second,
second
right, so what was that? That was 25.
25 is 2.
Right. 17 is just wrong, I guess. 15 is just wrong. No. Is that one of the ones I need? No.
No.
This could take a while.
It's fine. We've got
11. Oh, that is
was
one I need, I think.
1, yeah.
Is that the correct
Look at it
one?
again.
No,
It
it's
doesn't
not
have a
quite
cross in the
right.
middle. The logos are on the blueprint next to the tapes.
Wait, what?
Oh. Yeah, never mind.
Okay, hang on. So
20. Yeah, we got 25. Where's the first one? Oh, bottom right. 4. So 4, 25,
wait.
8.
Is that 4? 4, 25,
8, and then 20.
20?
The top right one.
Yeah. Is that 20 or
26 or
20,
I can't tell.
24? So what do we reckon? We reckon
4, 25.
4, 25,
8.
8. There is no 8.
There it is, top left. Second one from the top left.
Aha. 8, and then what was it? 24.
That one. Nice.
Right now,
Thank you for the tip there, Alice.
Yeah.
Saved us a lot of
That
time.
would have taken me a long time. Now, the thing is, she likes us to watch. Just another high. Ugh. So the thing is, they are in there. Touch everything, make it feel old. Ugh.
I went to the thing that makes you old.
The beach that makes you old. Watch, 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 watch. Right, they're up there.
Big pipes. I wonder if I can flood this place.
Why can't I get up there? What?
Yeah, I guess fell
That,
through
like-
to the pipe there. There we go.
Oh, come on.
No.
I wonder if you're exposed too much to your brain, Charlie.
You promised that you wouldn't do that.
Lights so far, far away. On a trip, on a long holiday.
God knows what they're up to.
Yeah. Do we need to see this?
I want to be there. You had write that song.
I've forgotten how to get out of here. I think what I need to do is flood the place. And then I need to...
Nice.
Oh, crap.
Not nice.
Hmm.
I thought it was you sliding under the door, but it seems that door remains that way.
Yeah.
Seems bad.
Yeah. I can't remember how I get out of here. Can I, like, get through here? Please? Oh, yeah. Right. See you later, losers.
Definitely.
Definitely. Thanks, Raiden. Oh, crap.
Can we just swim up with the tide? Oh no.
No,
water
you
kills
can't
us.
enter the water.
Mm.
Why can't I... there we go.
Nice.
Charlie Montague is dead. Fia Zabrovska is dead.
You killed them. Nah.
Oh shit.
Used to be me sneaking a girl down here. Used to be I was the romantic. I think shit changes. Nah, man, just looks different. You and me, well, we're leavers. That doesn't change. Okay, I think I've changed. Can't love anybody. We just. Ooh, there's no fucking we. Fia and Charlie, you think that shit's healthy? I'm talking about you, Colt, and I'm talking about everyone. That's the difference. Leaver.
Okay.
Who's the leaver now?
Yeah, I never really kind of got why that happens. Why you see, like, versions of yourself from other
I mean, I'm
timelines.
sure you'll. It will come up toward the end, right?
Well, I can't remember. It might do, but I can't remember if it does.
Also, just to address previous comments, I saw that Alice said that they never watched much of DS9 because a friend told them it was bad, but it turned out that they had meant Enterprise.
Right.
They
Yeah,
followed
Deep
it.
Space Nine is incredible.
Yeah, Deep Space Nine is well, I haven't seen every series, but Deep Space Nine is so far my favourite by far of the Star Trek series. I still want to watch Voyager. I know from what everyone has told me it's worse, but I think it still looks fun and I want to watch it. Enterprise I'm kind of less interested in because I'm kind of like pre original series. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
And that's this kind of same deal with like Discovery, is that I'm like, I know it has some stuff that goes into like the future, but I don't really give a shit much. I kind of want to, although at the same time, another one that's pre-TOS, just because so many people have told me it's good, is the Strange New Worlds. I kind of want to watch, and that's one that's based on Pike, the guy before Kirk.
Voyager is very. Voyager's kind of back to like TNG style.
Yeah,
In
and
that
I'm
it's
fine
like
with that. I'm up for watching slightly worse and goofier TNG.
yeah, we still need to finish watching X-Files. Like
Yeah.
I really liked because I have watched like a bunch of random episodes of X-Files, but I wanted to like watch it from start to finish, but we just stopped doing that. I think it's partially because like I have, well, at least from my perspective, I have a very full game schedule at the moment. In that every day I need to do my like Genshin dailies. I want to play fighting games every day, and then I also have Death Stranding 2 at the moment.
Yeah.
So I have a lot to do, and watching TV.
I want to create a curated list of TOS episodes for us to watch as well. And I know that's blasphemy to a lot of people. Like, oh no, watch all of it. I'm afraid a lot of TOS episodes are kind of spinning the same wheel.
Yeah.
They're spinning the, what if there was an alien that made itself look like a member of the crew and snuck in and subverted everything? It's extremely Red Scare, like 60s stuff.
I don't think I really need to infuse anything because I didn't really gain anything this loop. Yeah, I don't care.
But I need to like round up basically a collection of all the like all the episodes that have Spurk elements in them. So
yeah.
And there are a lot of episodes that do have Spurk elements. The Pon Farr episode is a big one, the season 2 opener. I think it's the season 1 one that ends with him getting the back massage and assuming it's from Spock. There's an episode I think might be season 2 where Spock like falls in love with a woman and Kirk needs to snap him out of it, of course. And he does it by being racist to him basically and starting a big fight with him on the Enterprise.
Right. Turn this thing on. So I am assuming I need to go there in the morning, activate the device.
Do you kill anyone while you're there, or?
Well, in this loop, we don't need to be killing people.
Right, okay.
So I
In the final loop, if you need to activate that to get into the party, what else
no,
can you do while there?
no, you don't. I think this is just for like information on what to do after you've killed everyone.
Oh, okay.
That is, I still need to work out how I'm going to what's the correct way to kill Alexis. I didn't like fully figure it out. I think if I turn off his beer supply correctly, he gets up on stage and starts chewing everyone out because he's pissed off that his beer's out, and then you can activate the stage from like there's a hidden button that you can press to drop him into the grinder. But yeah, now I've done most of the I always forget I can zoom out on this. So I figured out how to kill her.
Right.
What's her name?
Harriet.
Yeah. Well remembered.
No, I just saw it on the text there.
Okay. That's how to get to Juliana after I've killed everyone. That's how to kill Alexis. I haven't finished that one yet. That's how I kill
Igor.
Oh, that's how I get Igor to the party. I then need to actually kill him at the party. That's how I kill Charlie. Yeah, Charlie and Fia. That's how I get Wenji to the party. And that's how I kill Frank. So I've already
Frank just dies passively, right? If you actually
you go in the morning, you kill Harriet, and whilst you're there, you sabotage the fireworks. Then you go somewhere else to do something else.
Good.
I can't remember. I don't know. Then in the afternoon, I kill Charlie and Fia, and then the night you kill Igor, Wenji, and Alexis at the party. I think. Yeah.
What do we need to do this cycle then?
I need to figure out how I'm actually going to kill Alexis, and I need
Yeah.
to get into that power station. So
Okay.
I need to go and actually do
Do the
this.
power station thing.
There's an old power station beneath the loop control center.
Right.
The power won't flow without not one, but 2 generators. So I don't think I need all the generators running. I just need 2 of them.
Okay. I'll leave it in your hands.
I'm pretty sure. I'll try and turn them all on. I'll try not to fuck up this time and get blown up by a mine.
You don't really buy into this whole Eon thing, do you?
Well, Eon's goals were admirable. Preserve society's brightest minds.
Why, thank you, Juliana.
Oh, no, you're the control. Your contrast.
You mean I'm not a wealthy asshole and a sociopath?
You're just not wealthy.
Yeah, Ether is like just really overpowered.
Yeah, especially with the standstill and it just holds thing.
Yeah, stand still and it doesn't use up any power. Oh, hi, Ree. There are really fun episodes where you have to look past Neelix and everything about Chakotay's heritage and Seven's outfit and a bunch of other little details. Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff in Voyager that isn't that like good.
Yeah.
Why doesn't this work?
Like, I'm not expecting it to, overcome DS9 in terms of favoritism. I think DS9 is just like... The thing about it is that it couldn't exist and be as good as it is without the rest of Star Trek. So you can't just say it's the best, just watch Deep Space Nine. I think it's good because other Star Trek exists. Like, what I like about it is how it contrasts to the rest of Star Trek. But I still think, I kind of want to... I like Star Trek, and I don't want someone to be like, oh yeah, I like Star Trek too. I like Voyager, and to be like, oh, I don't really know that one.
Yeah.
I want to be able to connect with people that like Star Trek as well by being like, oh yeah, I've seen Voyager. DS9 without the rest of Trek is just Babylon 5. You're a Babylon 5 head, aren't you?
I have seen a bunch of Babylon 5.
Yeah.
Again, it was something that I just used to watch on like channel 5, I think. It just used to be on when I was and I had something of a in certain senses, a charmed childhood as a teenager, in that I was allowed... Oh no, even before I was a teenager, I was allowed a TV in my room.
Nice.
And obviously I just abused that privilege and would just like watch TV like super late at night.
Watching Lex at midnight.
Yeah, you're funny you should mention that, because yeah, I used to watch Lex and I thought it was great, but I was like 14, so...
Yeah, it does feel kind of like aimed at 14-year-olds.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. Where's he going? Just... How did nobody fucking notice that?
Farscape, that's another one as well. Silk saying, I wish I'd watched more Farscape.
Ah,
honestly.
shit, did I just blow up that generator? I hope not. Farscape. Wasn't that the one with puppets? Like the Jim Henson one or something?
No, I think it was people, but
But it had puppets as well, right?
I don't. Oh, it has puppets.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Yeah, Farscape was. There's something wrong with my controller because it's just pulsing.
Oh shit!
I think I stepped too close to something that...
Is it pulsing now?
Yeah, it still is. Now it's pulsing in the other hand. Oh, it stopped now.
That controller is already a unreliable narrator, so...
Yeah, I mean, I tried to replace this controller because it had stick drift, but now it's sort of not got stick drift anymore. But I got another controller.
And it has another problem.
Well, I think the D-pad is not is good, so it's not as sensitive.
Oh, right.
Because when I was streaming Guilty Gear on Monday, I found that I was not able to do any of my like inputs properly.
Right, so it's not an issue of being broken, it's an issue of not being like worn in enough.
Yeah, not being too good almost.
Yeah, it needs to be broken in.
Can I just take your battery? Yeah. Nice. Right, now I need to not blow these things up.
Yep.
Which should be, pretty easy.
Other end.
Don't tell me the battery goes on the other side. Oh no, it goes in here.
So the battery just acts as a starter then for the...
Yeah, I think so, but I think I took it out too early. Right, I ejected the battery and it used up about half of its charge.
Right, okay.
Now, luckily, there is a battery charger
Oh.
somewhere. I don't know where, but there's one around here somewhere.
Do you want another drink, by the way?
Yes, I'd love another drink.
Same again?
Yes,
Okay.
please. Another rum and Coke. Or Malibu and Coke.
No Malibu, that's
No Malibu? Well, I'll take regular rum then. I'll slum it.
regular. First of all, it's quality.
It's cracking, isn't it? Right, I turned 2 generators on. What's... Oh, right, that uses up the power. I see. Farscape was Australian too. I don't remember that. Not... Silk, not puppets, Muppets. Well, exactly. Put some respect on their name. Whoa. Whoa. What are you doing here? What are these guys doing here? Is there any health in here? Now this door should be open. Just a little prick to help you sleep.
How'd I get so lucky?
They never cared. It wasn't about us.
These messages from wherever or whenever.
All their fault. Whispers, always whispers. I have the storm. All that matters. Poked and prodded, my heart beat steady. On your feet, maggots. Go. Oh shit. Oh yeah, the Wenjis are here. So yeah, there are 2 ways into this vault, I guess. What did I come here for? What's so good about being here? Ooh, a machine gun. Strictly confidential. Oh yeah, this like tells you the history. So you have to go back there to route the power around, but it's closed at a certain time of day. Yeah, so I think it was shelved in bookcase 1 in the restricted documents. Horizon archive also near the gate in Updam. Right, yeah. So I think you have to do a loop each time.
Power governor. Sounds like that could really ruin Julian's day. Let's go show some identification.
Oh, I remember what this is for. This is quite a long audio log. Thank you. New drink acquired.
Updated my drink.
Now, I'm pretty sure if I turn on 2 more generators. So, I got into a bunker, and there was some kind of...
Yeah.
Where did I put the battery? Did I dump it upstairs?
That's me. I was away.
Yeah. Anyone who was watching, where did I put the battery? Yes.
Nice.
Oh, in fact. Yeah, so I remember where the battery charger is.
You shake the battery when you're running.
Yeah, when you're running.
Whoa.
Whoop.
Do you remember in Bioshock Infinite how they had to justify audiologs being present by having giant personal vinyl recorders that they just left around everywhere?
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of interesting stuff about Bioshock Infinite, as Matthew Mitosis would love to report.
Oh my god. Yeah. I think some of Matthew Mitosis' videos are like interesting and make sort of fun observations. I agree with him that Demon Souls is like the most goated Souls game.
On review, Lost Arts of Demon Souls is one of Matthew Mitosis'.
Yeah, I think the points he makes about Demon Souls in that and the Souls games in general in that video are more or less unimpeachable. However, the video where he's like, I think there should have been more racism in Bioshock Infinite is insane.
Well, it's even more specific than that. It's kind of
he's
like,
like, oh, they should use a specific slur.
In Bioshock Infinite.
And it's just like, why do you need to hear that specific word to like?
I think Matthew Mitosis is a good like mechanical reviewer and critical person.
He's he's quite analytic in his thoughts, and I think
I'm
that's
somewhat interested in his like narrative opinions, but that one in particular is kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
It's like I can kind of understand the idea of being like it's a withheld punch to portray racism, but not really the full effect of it. But to be like specifically, they should have said the N-word.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know, we get it from the context clues that this is a super racist society. I don't think I need it to be like spelled out for me before I can like, why aren't these boxes open? Why can I not? I need like a code maybe.
Oh yeah, the code down there.
Yeah, I think this.
3 digits. How long will it take us to brute force it? Only a few tries.
Only an extremely long time.
1,000 at most.
Yeah, and I think these are randomly. Yeah, you need a code. Where do I get the codes from? Are they on the doors? Or are they somewhere in like a document that I can find?
Do you want me to look it up or wait until chat might know?
They hold a public execution for a mixed race couple in the
That's
opening
the thing,
sequence, which
is
is
that-
anything is much more shocking than using slurs.
The consequences of racism are more shocking than the words used, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, that's bad. I can kind of get it. I don't need them to be like, and also they use the N-word. But I think to that...
I think his point is that it's like, oh, they wanted to use racism in this story, but they held back, and it's like, but also, what would it add if they like,
Isn't there a bunker where you can see a certain rocket? Alice says.
There is, yes, the Raqueto plan. Does that have the code for all these though? Because that's not here as well. That's in Updam. In fact, I assume.
But I think
I think it's in that.
that
Do I
sort
not?
of-
How do I get it? Can I get into that bunker?
not to excuse Matthew Mitosis, but that era of like YouTube, I think people were very much into verisimilitude to the utmost degree. They wanted like, listen, if they want to have a full effect, it should also be realistic to our current world in that racism exists, but is also delivered with this extra thing, and why isn't it there?
Yeah. I mean, I have to credit him that he hasn't deleted that video, so at least he like either stands by the point, which he shouldn't, or is like willing to accept that, oh, I fucked up here, and I don't want to I don't want to erase my mistake.
That's the thing. To discredit him, I'd say he should make it clear which it is. Leaving it up gives the
It gives the impression that he stands by it, which is just like just a huge L, I think.
But anyway, I hope you're all looking forward to his game that's coming out on the 21st of July. I know.
Oh yeah, the little puzzle game.
Smart bombs or whatever.
I think I when he first announced he was making a game, and it was like he wanted it to be like a Metroidvania, and he was like, I want the combat and the platforming to be really. I was just like, this game's never coming out. Like most people for their first game project start with something much more down to earth.
Yeah.
And much more sort of like, I've made like 2 games, and neither of them are particularly very good. One of them was a scrolling shooter, which was just like it randomly generates stuff at the top of the screen, and it falls down to the bottom of the screen, and you shoot it, and it's extremely easy, and there's no challenge to it. But it was a joke game, because it was called like J.K. Rowling's Like Defeater or like Deleter. You played like a little trans-colored spaceship, and you shot likes that were falling down from the screen, and in the top corner of the screen was like the number of likes on J.K. Rowling's tweet. The big Facebook tweet that
debate group days.
No, this was while I was on Twitter. I don't know whether it's still up anymore. But yeah, the idea was that like a bunch of like TERFs decided that like, I don't know, people at Twitter were like deleting likes off of a J.K. Rowling tweet, and so I just made a game about it where you played as the little trans spaceship doing that. Autumn, I remember that. I made that little fun game that was just I literally just like cut and pasted bits of code from like other games together until it worked. And then I made another little game in Java, which was Maxwell's Demon Simulator. This was back in my PhD days, where you control a little door and you let blue and red particles through the door, and the object of the game is to like sort all the blue onto one side and all the red onto the other side. And those are like extremely like small, like modest projects. To try and make a fucking Metroidvania as your first game is just unhinged.
Yeah. So for all those, like Silk said, that's why he stopped making videos. Yeah, so all those who don't know, Matthew Mitosis was a guy that used to make like critiques of games on YouTube, and eventually he got to the point where he decided he wanted to make his own game. At which point he stopped making videos, and his Patreon, he switched to a mode where it was now about funding the making of his game, and he would post updates about his game development diaries every now and then. And he also quite comedically paused his Patreon every now and then when he felt that his output was not like strong enough. So every update from Matthew Mitosis was usually about how the Patreon was being paused. But recently, as in the last week basically, he announced the release of his first game. He's now finally like pivoted into making a more simple game, but it still looks pretty good.
It's exactly the kind of game someone should make as their first game. Something that's sort of like, a little more like contained and like less ambitious than like, oh, I'm gonna make a full like Metroidvania. It's like a puzzle game, and it's like
and it's in what I like about it is that it's in a style of a Game Boy Advance game, and it literally, when he says when you buy it, it will come with a Game Boy Advance ROM. So if you had a hacked system, you can add it to your Game Boy Advance and play it on that, which is cool, like a hacked Game Boy Advance card.
Yeah, the J.K. Rowling thing was based around this GC conspiracy theory that trans people were deleting likes from J.K. Rowling's tweet when it was actually because it would. Yeah, so the way Twitter like actually works is that like tweets after a certain while enter a sort of cold storage on the like on the servers that they host all that stuff on, and for that it's very difficult to actually like if you like something and then go back to that tweet, the server will often have not remembered that you did that because it doesn't expect that you care whether whether every single like of yours is tracked. And once a tweet has entered cold storage, yeah, that's where like GCs like all like gender criticals, they all like rallied around that single tweet and they all wanted to like it, but then they would go back to it a few days later and notice that it looked like they hadn't liked it, and so they became convinced that there was this conspiracy of Twitter was like Twitter wasn't just deleting the tweet or banning J.K. Rowling or reducing the likes to 0, but that Twitter was specifically reducing the number of likes to a certain level for unclear purposes. And like many conspiracy theories, the question you should always ask is, to what end? Why would they be doing this? Why would they be doing this specifically? When if this conspiracy has the power to just delete likes off of tweets, why wouldn't they just ban J.K. Rowling? Oh, that would make a martyr of her.
Yeah.
But like, well, if they have this power, why don't they just completely throttle her so no one ever sees her tweets again?
I mean, like any sort of conservative opinion, eventually it became just a dance of, we don't care about this anymore, on to the new thing.
Yeah, well, and it became eventually, it was like a thing they wanted to talk about, but then it was really just a segue into like other stuff. So yeah, back to the game anyway. This is where the Rakiato plan is.
Just to quickly say, it's not Smart Bombs. The game's called Logic Bombs.
Logic Bombs, right.
On Steam. It's coming out in like 2 weeks.
Some kind of password, maybe?
There's a strange door in Uptown with a microphone on it.
Barnacle? Retroactive. Black light? Splash crash. Juliana. Schematic. Galvanized. Usurper. Chronological.
How many lines do you think he has for this?
Probably quite a few.
Cobb. Guardy-Loo? What the fuck is a Guardy-Loo? Jackass. Skin Flint. Larch. Test flight.
Large. I like that one.
Supercilious. Debarking. Tourniquet. Iteration. What's the name of that? Paradiddle. Guardy-Loo? What the fuck is a
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it was starting to loop. I can't remember where I get the code for that. And I also am pretty sure it's told me that I can explore the archives. Oh, the archivist's office is there. Okay. Maybe that has the password. How do I get in there?
It's not from that place you can only access when the tide is low, Alice said.
Place you can only access when the tide is low. I don't remember any place. There is. Oh god. Right, going loud, I guess. How do I get in that? Is there a place? This place doesn't feel like it's affected by the tide, so. Ow. Whoa.
Where did they come from?
Yeah, it sort of feels like people are just spawning in.
Fucking time crisis moment where he just walks in from the right of the screen.
Yeah. I was going to sit here and be invisible. There's a beach or something like the same area as the room with the gas.
The area you mess with the fireworks.
Yeah, there is. Fuck. I don't know that there's my residuum. It doesn't really matter.
That's going a bit too far!
I agree. Brother Brodsky, I was the artist of Ramblin' Frank. We are back in the afternoon. I'll leave the garage door cracked a smidge if you need at it. Took the archives office van.
Shit. I'm guessing this is the only way in. Gonna have to come back in the afternoon.
Right, okay. I could just come back here in the afternoon. Yeah, I need to get into the archivist's office in the afternoon. There is an area that you can only access at low tide, but it's where you get Frank's slab. But I don't think there's anywhere. That might be where the horizon door is as well. But I don't need to go in there yet. Right, it is now afternoon. Updam. An Eternalist will leave the garage door to the archives open in the afternoon. Yeah, this'll work this time, for sure.
How long have I been here? Look, I know you know, so just hit me with it. No games.
17 years.
17 years. Okay.
The first time.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you actually escaped the island back in the 50s and then volunteered to come back with us.
Why the fuck would I do that?
You just couldn't stay away. You love this place.
Message for Cole. Because of your bullshit, I'm on duty till you're dead. So here's the deal. I left you something in front of his Dorsey mansion. I spent half of it every watching traffic. Get past me, and you can have it.
Oh yeah,
So hurry up, you owe me, motherfucker.
yeah. If we go there, there's like a. She set up like a. Sick. Well, this is my fault. Does it matter? Holds all the cards. Oh yes, this is Juliana's office. The only way out.
Floor, isn't it? Okay. Someone from England.
Run, 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 run. Yeah, I think she's gonna come for me or something. The 62nd minute, Juliana Blake. With so many incredible passengers, how do I organise my time? I've always been fastidious with my time, but there's never seemed enough hours in a day. Can't wait to have an infinity of them. Given my unbelievable success, what's my greatest regret? I burned a bunch of bridges to get here. Only one of them I wish I hadn't had to go. When I realise I possess a vision greater than the rest of humanity, I'm a gal in love with a written word. I'm hardly alone in that on Black Reef. What book, song, or play speaks to me that most speaks to my spirit? A book's like that metaphor about never stepping in the same river twice, except it's the reader that changes. Same with songs. Gotta say though, Birds of Prey is a real righteous jam. What did I know I had to bring with me to Black Reef? Some people brought complex electronics or a whole sound studio or an eternal supply of candy. I'm just glad to have my library. As one of the world's greatest living geniuses, do I enjoy finally having a spotlight shining on my work. It's new, that's for sure. I'm going to make the most of the responsibility you've given me. Ah, nice. What am I looking for in here? I was looking for code, right? Hey, Miss J. Me and Colt. Frank tried to reassure. I swear there's more to this place. Oh, nice. Go Ask Alice gifted a sub to Ree. Ooh. The Constant. Okay. There's got to be something in here that's like... Nothing on this board. Computer. Well, this seems a bust so far. Am I just like walking past something repeatedly? I'm meant to be in here to look for something.
You're looking for a code, right?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping for a code that like lets me open the different doors, but I'm not entirely convinced I'm going to find it here now. And what am I even here for?
What's the objective marker there?
Archivist's office.
Oh,
It
it's
just
in
tells
the
me to
center
be
of the-
here.
Right.
I can only be here in the afternoon.
Yeah, so it's gonna be something here.
Yeah,
I read that.
nothing on that
Sorry, I was
shelf.
looking at my phone. Let me apply my loot eyes to it.
Yeah. There's like a computer here. There was like that I read. It was just like an interview.
Turn around.
There's a book there which I read, which is just what turn around here.
In that room. What's that on the back wall? Is that just a towel? Whiteboard with nothing on it.
Yeah. A whiteboard now on it.
What's that whiteboard got on it? The one that has stuff erased.
Nothing special.
Yeah.
Maybe if I try and leave here, they'll be like... Yeah, it definitely was like go back in here, but like what am I looking for?
Look at the journal entry, see if it says anything for what's leading you here.
An
Just
eternal
says the door's open.
garage open, sees the present.
It's no like hatch or door we're not seeing.
I don't think so.
Nothing in the ceiling. Like you can't
Oh,
oh.
classified information.
Aha.
The passkey is Nout.
Now.
Ah, to get into the Rakieta plan.
Aha.
Oh,
You thought it was going to be easy?
I already know where you're hiding.
Yes, and what do you want? What do you want, a medal? A fucking ribbon of achievement?
You
At the stabilizer core.
oh, come on. I was almost there.
You're not even remotely close. Look out the window. See that giant fucking eye? That's me.
So you are hiding. In plain sight.
The problem, Captain Vaughn, is that I see everything. I see moves you haven't even thought of yet. Better start looking for ladders.
There's no ladder, is there?
Right, again.
Shit.
right, yeah. So she's there, which is cool. I think was a really cool detail. Is that like, can I like get out of this? Yes, apparently I can. And I can also get in here now.
Now. All right. Let's find out what's inside this rack. It's a rack? It should.
Yeah, boy.
There's been a
Raketo plan.
General.
Right.
My men tell me the anomaly's energy
I knew that.
past its peak on the proposed date of the demonstration. So we have to accelerate the schedule by 6 weeks, otherwise the probability of a successful breach decreases to just 16%.
It's a posture
That's a
check,
fun
I think.
Posture check image.
Yeah, it's a very rare one. I actually do need to adjust my posture a bit. So yeah, this is the Rakiato plan.
Right.
And from what I remember, this is how you get to the end of the game. You have to come in
Yeah.
here and get in that rocket and
Yeah.
fire yourself at the eye. The code for the power governor is 185. There we go.
No wonder Juliana didn't want me in here. Should I say something profound? Ocean. Pearl diver. No. It's gotta be military and unimaginative. Bomb. The hell is this? Black light? Louse water.
Yeah, that's another fucking knowledge check. So yeah, this is why I think it's impossible to complete the game on
In
on
one
the first
round.
loop.
Yeah, because of the rocket.
Yeah, you need to go. Like I do like that the game requires you to use the time loop, in order to like gain the knowledge that you need.
Yeah,
to
it's sort of. It's not like game mechanically pure in that like I think that people that are like I think if you kind of go with a part of your brain that's like here's what should be a time loop should allow, and I think the ultimate purity test is that for those who know they should be able to complete it in one loop.
Yeah, but I also kind of like the fact that the game, like, in order to complete it, requires you to use the time loop mechanics. But yeah, it is nice that when
think other
having
games-
played the game once, you can then use your knowledge to circumvent the entire game.
Yeah.
Although that does mean that, like, playing Outer Wilds, for example,
I was going to say,
you can just
is the
complete.
example
Yeah,
where you can do it in one loop if you know.
yeah. If you know how to complete the game, you can just go straight to the end of the game immediately.
Yeah, you can beat the game within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think that is like the example of like a sort of ideologically pure time loop game, because the information required to get to the end of the game is so esoteric. It trusts that you will have spent multiple runs getting to here.
Mm.
Password sealed vault. This island's studded with dusty old bunkers. Better start digging.
I think the final. I might as well just loop round. I haven't played Outer Wilds for ages. Yeah, Outer Wilds is an incredible game.
I mean,
I love it a lot.
If there is a flaw to Outer Wilds, it's that it cannot really be replayed. So.
Yeah, it is that along with like Demon Souls is one of those games where I almost wish I could delete everything I know about it and just play it again. From day dot. Right, this time. Now I know the code. I can open. You haven't seen whether the fireworks will blow up. I know they will, and I will get to see that when I actually want to kill Alexis and Igor at the party.
Every day. Except you. And sometimes me. I don't get it.
Traumatic loop exposure causes autonomic disruption, clearing a big for retrieval queues. In simpler terms, recurrent storage wipe.
Yeah, you could have just said hangover.
We're back.
Be invisible. Interesting, none of them noticed me breaking the window this time. 185 is what I need to do this time. 1 8 5. Excellent.
Woo!
Must have been the wind. Right, so I need to open the ones in Updam, and I'll do Freestad Rock, I guess. In fact, I
Do
could
the
open all 3 of them
generators
because there are 6 generators here. As long as I'm careful.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another battery here. That's
Nice.
interesting to note. Oh, hang on. I want to actually hack.
You haven't read the fucking manual.
A power generator that needs power to generate. Unbelievable.
This is bullshit that they all immediately like run up here. Like, how do they know?
I mean, they're just going to where the explosion was, which is
Oh,
fair enough.
okay.
Although, again, it's actually not fair enough. If you're smart, you don't go to where the explosion... Like, you know,
Yeah,
basic safety training. Don't go to where the explosion was. It might explode again.
exactly. Like, when someone's been, like, sniped like that, you don't go to exactly where they were standing. Right, let's do this then. This is... She does not know where I am. Because I'm invisible.
Dies.
Dies. So true.
While you're just doing a bunch of generator stuff, I could take this as my opportunity to talk about Planescape Torment.
Yeah, please do. I mean,
Um,
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on what's going on in Planescape Torment.
Sure. So over the last week, I've played a lot more of Planescape Torment since the last time I talked about it, where I'd played basically
You played like
nothing.
the first 10
I
minutes.
played like the intro and then that's it. I've now gotten up to the point, for anyone who's played, where I have completed the section in the catacombs where you go to the dead nations, and I'm about to return to Farod with a bronze sphere where he says he's going to tell me more about my past, which is on the critical path. I spent a lot of time just walking around the Hive area, just doing a lot of side questing, which was fun, just to kind of like get the deal on what the world is. But I get the feeling that this game, kind of like Pillars, which I've played before it, is very much crit path focused rather than side quests. Like, the side quests are there and they're kind of fun and provide a little bit of info, but it feels like the vast kind of amount of quality that people refer to is in the main quest. What class are you playing as? I'm currently playing as mage, just because I'm not going into the game completely blind. Every now and then, when I'm just interested about things that are non-spoilery, I Google it, and I Googled what class people recommend I play, and people were like, mage is good because it gives you points in wisdom and intelligence, which is what you need for dialogue options as well. So it ties into how you want to play the game. So yeah, I'm playing mage. I got like 5 levels in fighter, and then I switched to mage when the option was available, which is a side quest. You talk to this old lady called Mebeth to learn about what it means to adopt the art, in quotes, which is what she calls like magery, which is quite fun. A fun little side quest about like a sort of like Mr. Miyagi style learning of magery. But yeah, so now I'm a little bit into the main quest, where I'm starting to finally develop on the stuff that I knew from the start of the game, and I'm enjoying it a lot. It's fun, and I think there's a lot that I find interesting about it. Silk, mage is the right class to play. Most side quests aren't that important, but the ones that unlock NPC party members are pretty major to the game, I think. Companions are the best part of the game, I think. Yeah, I've done the one to get Dakon, the Gith party member. I've gone through his, as much quests as I can get through with him right now, because I had enough wisdom and intelligence to go through the entire Circle of Zerfamon quest. You were there for it, where I was constantly consulting this circle. And there's a quest where I was just doing a lot of reading, like sat in a tavern just talking to the guy over and over and over again. Which was really interesting to find out about his whole... It's a good, like, sort of Black Isle Obsidian style RPG, where you can go really deep into, like, companion, like, backgrounds and talk about their entire system of beliefs, that kind of thing, which is fun. And you get to know about this sort of like gift religion / way of thinking about things, where it comes down to knowing within asterisks, which is about knowing oneself and like remaining true to oneself, but also in a way that you don't, for the sake of honor, betray your own self. You know things, and you don't forego that knowing, even if the knowing is like evil to thine own ear, which is kind of what it gets into with Dakon, is that there's parts of his own belief system that he doesn't like to think about because they portray his Jesus Christ figure in like a bad light, essentially, as to sort of like reconnect him to his religion and being like, listen, there was some treacherous stuff that Zerfamon went through, but you need to accept it. It's part of knowing, which is the basis of your belief system. So that was interesting. But to get into the main quest, I think I said last time that at the start I got to a zombie that I needed to kill to get a key, and I googled, do I really need to kill this guy? Because the game has a sort of reputation as a game where you can like talk your way out of any combat interaction.
You don't need to kill anyone. No one needs to die.
This is totally untrue, or at least if you do not kill anyone in the game, you have to play the game in an incredibly obtuse manner where you'll be doing a lot of running away. Like there's some that like in the city streets there are guys that will just start on you for no reason, and you either just batter them where they are, or you'll be running away whenever you're just in the city streets, which I think is a kind of weird way to play the game. It's not the expected way to play. So I think it's less a game where it's like, hey, you can talk your way out of anything, and it's more a game that is like, if you're used to, I might be off base with this because I've not played many of them, but it's like a game that is trying to subvert the D&D game mechanics that were there at the time that it was made, basically. It's not trying to have no comebacks. It's not like Disco Elysium, but it's trying to be like, a lot of the times when you would expect the game to basically be Diablo, it's like, whoa, hold your horses there, it's sword man.
I think it's also trying to be true to like an actual D&D sesh where like, you know, you're not supposed to necessarily just kill everyone you meet. Like, you know, you're supposed to engage with the world and like talk to people and like, you know, like you're not just meant to murder your way through the whole game.
Hobo. Like I think a lot of players will have engaged it like a Diablo game essentially, and just been like, anytime a obstacle got in their path, there's one easy solution, and it's called left click.
Yeah, exactly. Just kill it.
Like there was a moment in this game that I pointed out to you where I got to the Dead Nations area where I'd been taken prisoner by the undead people living there, and the guy that when I woke up talked to me before I said farewell to him, and he said, whoa, hold your horses there, Buster. Before you think about, as soon as you walk out this door, killing the first skeleton you see, these undead are actually fairly chill now that you're their prisoner. You can talk to them. You can, you can hang out here. You don't need to kill everyone that's here. And it felt very much a tutorializing of the idea of that. In other D&D games, you may just figure that every zombie and every skeleton that you encounter is something to be left-clicked. These guys are actually, you can hash it out. You can find a peaceful way out of this situation.
Yeah.
Which to me, as someone that lives in the future from when this game was made, is like, well, duh. It felt very of its time to be like, hey, don't kill every skeleton you see.
Yeah.
Actually, after the quest now, it's actually kind of funny that now looking back, now that I know more about the character that told me that, it would actually be within his best interest for him to not have told me that. He's actually working against the undead's interest, so it would have been better for his interest to not tell me, don't kill the skeletons.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I guess the game wanted to tell you because it doesn't, you know, it's expecting that you're playing it, you know, at the era and in the time it came out when, like, you would have no other way of knowing that you're not just supposed to slaughter everything you see. Whereas, like, I feel like the game is somewhat a victim of its own, like, infamy, or like its own like notoriety.
It's suffering from success in terms of
in that, like, a lot. I have zero interest in CRPGs at all, And people have told me Planescape Torment is this game where you like can talk your way out of every combat encounter, or you don't ever need to fight anybody. You can spend the whole game talking to people like Disco Elysium. And I have heard more people make specifically the comparison to Disco Elysium like recently.
Yeah.
And I only played Disco Elysium like a couple of years after that came out. So I feel like a lot of people nowadays will go to the game or approach the game knowing that, oh, you don't have to do any combat, and then might be surprised by the fact that the game sort of expects you to be doing a bit of combat.
Yeah.
Because it expects you to be playing it as a new player with no internet, with no sort of like, guidebook telling you how to play, and it expects you to play it like most players would. It's a novelty that you probably can go through the game without fighting, but it does not expect you to do that.
Yeah.
And I think the other night I was making a comparison to Undertale, which is a game that knows that when Undertale was like released on like physical editions, I was in Japan, and I remember reading the Japanese like box art for Undertale describes the game as the friendly RPG where nobody needs to die.
Yeah.
So it is explicitly, you're going into it knowing that you do not necessarily need to kill anyone. That said, I killed a couple people on my first playthrough because I couldn't figure out how not to do it. But I was kind of aware that like I wasn't, and I think the game also expects you to kill a few people on your first playthrough because it expects you to play it again and do things more perfectly. The game has multiple routes through it in almost acknowledgement of the fact, and has dialogue that explicitly acknowledges, like, if you do the perfect playthrough and then reload up your save, the game says, hey, don't play this anymore because you'll be ruining the happy ending that everyone got. So like the game is aware that like it knows that you are going into it knowing that like it knows what expectations you have, whereas I guess Planescape Torment doesn't necessarily know that you don't have to fight in it.
Yeah.
And therefore the game sort of softly expects you to do a little bit of fighting.
I think the big difference as well that I pointed out when we talked about this is that while Undertale, even in a perfect pacifist run where you don't kill anyone, it still has combats. Where you do combats, but at the end of it, you find a peaceful way out of a combat. Whereas in a game where, like a isometric, like D&D style game, if there was no combat, I would expect there to be no combats. Because in this sort of isometric left-clicky style of game, every combat ends with fatality. Like, you're not really given non-lethal weapons or a way to talk, beat someone up, and then they go, whoa, hold your horses there, let's talk this out. Pretty much, in fact, it's quite novel in this game, but sometimes you beat up a thug to the point that he just runs away from you, and you can just leave it there. But the game never sort of derides you for finishing them off, despite the fact that they're now just running away.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you any evil points for doing that. In fact, it's just neutral to attack someone who has attacked you and go beyond just defending yourself, but lethally finishing them off. Anyway, like Silk says, it's a very much trying to turn D&D tropes on their head while not trying to be not D&D. If that makes sense. And yeah, I think that's very much the vibe. It's a game where it's like, listen, it's a D&D game down to its bones, but it is sort of introducing new ideas about the scope that a D&D game can reach, So, and yeah, like Silk says, there are dungeons. Like, there are, like, I've been through, like, 3 dungeons now, I think. I've been through the Mausoleum. I've been through, just the open catacombs, and I've been through, the Drowned Nations, all 3 of which are just areas where if you want to progress, you're either going to need to run past or you're going to need to kill some enemies that are just standing there waiting to be combated, which is like your standard sort of Baldur's Gate, Diablo kind of fare. There's just dungeons where enemies are standing there being like, fight me, And I think the intended way to play it is that they intended most players, if not like 99% of players, to be like, if they see an enemy, it's on sight. It's not just, oh, I need to find a way around this guy. It's, I'm going to kill this guy, I'm going to get his XP, and I'm going to get his loot as well, But it's doing, I think, sort of like, for the time, again, this is sort of like, I could be off base on this because I wasn't there at the time. I'm sort of backwards engineering the ideas behind the game from the game. it feels like it's doing revolutionary ideas for the genre at the time, which is that you'll get to the end of the dungeon and it won't be a big skeleton priest saying, I am Feeblor, Lord of the Skeletons, and I'm going to fight you, and you say, die, monster, and then you have a big combat. You get to the end of the dungeon and there's a person that is fundamentally human, really, and is like, can be reasoned with, although not every time. At the end of the mausoleum, there was just a wizard who was like, I hate you and I will kill you now.
Yeah, I think like my friend Woodaba recently wrote a thing about Drakengard, which explained this idea that like Drakengard is now a victim of the fact that a lot of people go back to Drakengard in order to play it, and specifically to get ending E, because they know that that is the inciting incident for the Nier series of games.
Yeah.
And so you go back and experience Drakengard in a way that you don't. I mean, I'm now sort of going off piste from what exactly Woodaba said, but if anyone going back and playing Drakengard now is not playing it because they want to play a Drakengard game and they want to kind of like engage with it on its own terms, they're going back to play it because they want to play the sort of the prequel to Nier,
the canon of Nier.
Yeah, exactly. They want to go and get the kind of hidden lore of Nier. So they go back and specifically grind out to experience ending E, which is originally, I think, intended as a sort of like fuck you, like piss take for wasting your time and doing this kind of stupid nonsense to get ending E, and it rewards you, quote unquote, with this kind of like complete departure from what the rest of the game is about, and also a far more bleak ending than any of the already quite bleak endings that the game has. Like ending A is like the best that any of it gets, and like each ending you play, it just seems to get worse and worse. But like, yeah, like the Drakengard is now a sort of victim of the fact that it exists. It was created to be its own thing and to have its own sort of stuff going on, but all the stuff that's happened after it has like changed the context in which most people experience it. And I think the same is probably true of Planescape Torment, is that a lot of people now will experience it with the context of everything that's come after it, and so and that does fundamentally change the way you are able to engage with it as
playing it now. I think it's not. I think you can be impressed by the writing is really good, like just on the level of like the prose and like what's been said so far in the main story, especially like talking about the past lives of the Nameless One. It's really impressive. But in terms of like, I think to get the full level of how impressive it was to people and what the legacy it gained, you can't play it in a vacuum. You have to play it with the context of the games of the system of games that existed within. Like, I think something that to someone like me is just like whatever, but I was aware of how it must have been a big deal at the time, is that in the character creation screen, you're given a guy and you can change his stats, but then there's the bit where you would clearly rename your character, and you click on it and it's stuck. It doesn't say anything. It just says the Nameless One, and you click on it as you might. You cannot give yourself a name. You are simply the Nameless One. And to me, that's just like, interesting. But I think at the time, if you just played like Baldur's Gate or whatever, you'd be like, holy fuck, this is crazy. I'm making a character, but I'm not making a character.
As well as the fact that like we were discussing earlier today, like there's in D&D and in a bunch of like games and settings, there's this idea that like names have power. Like I think in Neverwinter Nights, if you ever learn someone's true name, you have complete power over them to the point.
That exists in Planescape as well. I've already been told about it.
To the point where, Woodaba, you're in time for the Torment.
Oh yeah, you
chat.
joined mid.
Yeah, Woodaba, you probably joined literally just after I name dropped you. You're like honestly like peerless and towering Drakengard essay. I've been plugging that for you. I think it's an incredible essay, and it relates to what we were talking about, Planescape Torment, in that like people go back and experience Drakengard because of the context of everything that's happened after it.
Like the legacy of Nier, rather than
Yeah,
the
people go back and play Drakengard because they want to play the lore to Nier. I think people now go back and play but a lot of people, like myself included, who has no interest in CRPGs, I know Planescape Torment as the the Diablo style game where you don't need to kill anything or you don't need to fight. So I go back and experience that game with this like context, which at the time, if I'd have played it, I would not have had. And I think that it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, but it definitely changes the context in which you experience the game.
But yeah, I think.
Woodaber is here now. You two can discuss Planescape Torment.
The thing is now that I've after like the first half an hour, I had to reset myself into, instead of playing the game in the context of the games that came after it. I'm now I think the best way to experience game is to remain aware of the context that surrounded it at the time. Is that if you kind of go into it being like, I played Disco Elysium and someone told me Planescape Torment is basically the same thing, you'll be and just treat that as that's it, you'll be in for like disappointing yourself.
Yeah,
I'm going into in every time you see a decision that's kind of like, it's weird that they've drawn a special attention to this. Even without having like played the game, I've not played Baldur's Gate 1 or 2 or Neverwinter Nights or Icewind Dale or any of the sort of D&D games that came out at the time. But it's interesting that even playing it now without that context, I can kind of still understand the context that surrounded it. It's similar to when I played Pillars, is that you can kind of like intuit what it is a response to, even not having experienced the original thing that it is responding to.
Yeah, like I think if I went back, I've had people tell me, Planescape Torment is like Disco Elysium because it's like an RPG where you don't need to fight. That is certainly, back in the day, that is not a context I would have had. People wouldn't have, I wouldn't have like gone into the game expecting like, this is going to be a dialogue heavy like non-combat game. And that's like, I think the game expects you to fight and do some fighting and dungeon crawling and stuff because of course it does. It's more like a novelty that you can play it without killing anything or like without fighting, rather than like the point of the game. But now, for a lot of people, I think that is the point of the game. Is like to go back and play it in that way. I'm glad you mentioned Disco Elysium because I think until Disco Torment was still really singular, but Disco and the games that have come in its wake, there's a lot more games doing the Torment thing of an RPG where you mostly just talk to people in a city. Yeah,
that's the thing, is that Torment, like in the 20 years following now, has kind of spawned its own kind of subgenre about games where you kind of just walk around talking to people. But at the time, it was kind of like, that wasn't the idea, like the original idea, it feels like at least, was not, hey, we're going to make a game where you just talk to people. It was like, we're going to make a game like Baldur's Gate, but get this, instead of when you get to the end of a dungeon and you fight a big boss, there's going to be an opportunity to take all the information that you've learned this far and kind of try to reach a common understanding with the boss. And that was the thing. It was a twist on Baldur's Gate like games rather than we're starting our own genre here. And it kind of, just because the idea was so successful, it did kind of give forth to its own genre. But I think it's more interesting to me to approach it from the lens of imagine Baldur's Gate rather than, hey, imagine all the games that came forth from this game, if that makes sense. As I said, like, I remember when this was a big thing with games where you had a kind of thing of a morality bar and the ability to not just follow this set morality like Splinter Cell Double Agent, and now that is incredibly standard. Yeah, I mean, I could get into it with morality bars as well, like
I think people would be genuinely shocked at how little dialogue there is in Baldur's Gate 1 if they came to
That's
it now.
The thing, is that I think between the two, like if you say, is Baldur's Gate more similar to like Planescape Torment or Diablo, I'd probably say, like, from what I understand of just Planescape Torment and its reaction to it, is it's probably Diablo, right? Is that Diablo is the closer thing to Baldur's Gate 1, despite the fact that Baldur's Gate 1 has this legacy of being the really story-heavy RPG, But yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot, even though I'm not that deep into it, I think. But from what I've gotten from it so far, I think it's really good. And
Search
but
the
yeah, I
Sobar
think
station.
it's Baldur's Gate 1 is explicitly what if we combine Diablo with D&D. Yeah.
Well, there we
that's the vibe
go.
I get.
The thing is, Torment probably has more combat than Fallout 1 or 2.
I mean, I'll have
Well,
to
I
play
mean-
through it to experience it, but the fact that it has party combat, I think, makes it so that you interact with the combat system a lot more than Fallout 1 and 2, if anything. Fallout 1
Yeah.
has the, to me at least, the benefit of you only control one character, so you don't have to interface with the combat like sixfold like you would with Planescape. But at the same time, I think having played Pillars now, I was surprised to how simple the combat is in Planescape in comparison. I think there's probably more complicated combat systems in real-time with pause isometric RPGs than Pillars. But Pillars is a sort of like, it's a throwback to that time, and therefore it's trying to sort of like iterate and evolve on. I think it's like games like Wasteland 2 and Pathfinder, where it's trying to iterate on them by adding more gameplay mechanics. So already with Pillars, each combat was like a little puzzle you were solving, where being like, okay, I need to put this guy over here. Like, it's a tactics game mixed with an RPG where you need to utilize all your abilities and make sure you've leveled to the right, to the correct level to do this. Whereas in Planescape, it's kind of just like, for fucking 90% of combats, you are just being like, everybody rush this guy and left click on this dude. Like, everyone just stab him with your knives until he dies. And like when you level up, you don't really choose much. You're kind of just like, oh, it's time for Mort says, looks like my skills have increased, and then you click the plus button on him, and he tells you my skills have increased, and you're like, that's great. Rather than like in Pillars of Eternity 2, where you level up Edda, and it's like, right, you have about 5 decisions to make now, and they're going to affect the rest of the game. So good luck.
Oh, there's a lot of guys here. I don't like this.
It's funny. It's funny to think now that I've seen people really bounce off Torment systems, but at the time it was deliberately a very stripped back and more accessible version of AD&D compared to Baldur's Gate. Yeah, that's the thing. I was incredibly put off by Planescape for the longest time because I knew it was party-based real-time with pause isometric combat, which until I played Pillars was anathema to me. It was like, I'm sorry, but my brain just cannot connect. Having played it now, after having played Pillars, it's the easiest shit in the world. You don't have to understand it at all. You can just like brute force your way through it. At least so far. I know I'm in the easy level, so it's easy to say, but it's really easy. And it is stripped down, and you can tell. Rather than people having like 10 different abilities they can choose from when they level up, you just find out they have one ability, and you get more to each. And he has one ability, Litany of Curses. It's one of the best abilities so far. And whenever I level him up, his stats just get better. It's really stripped down and like streamlined, I think, for the effect of making it so you realize that you're not meant to be focusing your efforts on min-maxing your stats and your combats. You're meant to be maximizing your efforts on understanding the world and understanding the characters, And it's just because it's a D&D game, but it has the D&D combats as a given.
So we've not been talking about the game we're playing that much. I just wanted to bring attention to this. I've been going around getting the codes from these bunkers for the Raketoplan, where the rocket is held, that I'm going to use to get to Juliana, who's in the center of the time thingy. This document just suggested that. So we know that Juliana's second name is Juliana Blake. Colt. This is something reassigned to the mainland, ostensibly for hiding the pregnancy of Colt's main squeeze, Akbar Station's very own Lila Blake.
Right.
So this is implied that Juliana is Colt's daughter.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why Colt was just like, oh no, oh fuck, because he's been saying some weird shit to Juliana.
Yeah.
Well, not like he's been sort of like
he's been doing
strangely
light flirting, not like full on.
Well, it's like kind of like it's like sort of flirting, sort of like He's been making some extremely inappropriate passes.
Very early on, but that Juliana was his ex, basically.
Yeah. So. Bizarre. outrageous, as Woodipper says. I don't know why they wrote the dialogue to be so sort of like flirty between them, and why Juliana sort of like leans into it so much, or like she takes the piss out of you for it, but she doesn't like shut him down. I remember spending the whole game thinking, "Wow, this is a really well written exes who still want to fuck, but it broke bad dynamic." And then this, the same, fucking same. I spent the whole time thinking like, oh, this is kind of like a really toxic relationship. I kind of dig this, and then it was like, oh my god, she's his daughter.
Absolute
Ah!
scenes. Yeah.
Let's go and sit down in the shower.
Woodborough also asked, have you joined any factions yet? I assume in Planescape.
Yeah, no, in this.
I've been offered lots of opportunity to do so, but I have not gone for it so far because I'm, again, maybe modern brained, but I'm worried about pissing a lot of people off. I don't know if it's the kind of thing like in an Elder Scrolls game where you become a member of many factions, or whether it's sort of like, if you join the Dustmen faction, guess what? Everyone in the fucking gangs of the Alley of Dangerous Angles fucking hates you. Or if you join the Eoscar faction that the dude in the cathedral in the center of the Alley of Dangerous Angles offer you, you've made an enemy of 1,000 people or whatever. I've been very cautious so far to not like force to not give allegiance to anyone, which I don't know if is a denying myself of trophy.
Oh, trophy. Whilst using ether, kill 3 enemies without alerting nearby enemies. I mean, I missed first time with every single fucking one of those kills.
Factions
but
are a big part of Planescape settings, so it's worth exploring them. Okay, I might just at least do a save and then just join a faction and see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean that's not to tie it into the theme of time loops and time travel, but you are through the magic of save files. You know, you have the ability to explore every possible timeline on your first playthrough, if not multiple playthroughs. So yeah, I just join a faction that you think seems cool, and if they turn out being the monstrous bad bastard faction, oh well, next playthrough, you know.
Yeah.
I won't say how it works in the game unless you want me to, but a bit of historical context. If you were making a Planescape character in the tabletop, you had to pick a faction at character creation, so the nameless one not having a faction is I think meant to be read as a bit of an oh ho 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 moment.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Torment has helped a lot by Planescape just being the most interesting thing D&D has ever done.
That's the thing. I think the setting of Planescape is supremely more interesting than the Forgotten Realms or whatever. So far, I love the world way more than anything D&D I've played before.
Is Neverwinter Nights D&D? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Because I remember in Neverwinter Nights has that thing of like the names being powerful. Right. I can investigate the Akbar station in search of another password. Let's go get it. It is indeed. Yeah, there we go. Neverwinter Nights is a D&D thing.
So, I found something. Are you by any chance?
Yes, I am your daughter.
You got to be kidding.
Come on, you already knew, didn't you? Or at least suspected it.
I have so many questions.
Do you really want answers, Cole? You can find them. Do that, and then we'll talk. But you don't have to, because it doesn't change much. I'm still coming for you, so watch your back.
Like so far in the setting of Planescape, I'm just in Sigil, which is already an interesting place. But I talked to the guy in the Smoldering Corpse Bar, who is a planewalker, and he gives you like the lowdown on the entire world of on like all the planes, and it fucking sounds sick. It's like one of the like coolest like setting ideas that, and it's kind of crazy to me that it is tied to D&D, given that I thought the Forgotten Realms was kind of just whatever standard high fantasy like carry on.
I'm really wounded. I need health. I don't need health if I don't take any more damage.
Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, I'll definitely look to interface with the factions more. Because so far I've been extremely cautious not to say I'm anyone's friend, basically. The impetus of Planescape was, I believe, Vampire the Masquerade is eating our lunch. We have got to make something less swagless. Makes sense. Second edition let the writer cook a lot harder
Crap.
settings. Planescape Darks Unravel after all put back in the box for being too interesting. Yeah, that's a shame. I think again, I'm not the biggest D&D head, but from how much I've interacted with 5th edition, it's really bleh to me.
Problem with being invisible is I can't see my own gun sights.
Which is why I got the impression that when I was playing Planescape, I was like, this is D&D. This is crazy. Like, they made something interesting with D&D. I'm getting the feeling like I really should sort of, return with a capital V and go back and look at 2nd edition stuff.
Oh, come on. How did I miss?
Raven laughed. Oh, okay.
There we go. This is perfect stealth, by the way.
Yeah. Be invisible, throw grenades. The ultimate stealth weapon.
How many of these
this
do I
is
have?
Just perfect. How have we not employed this before? This just works.
Is there someone there? Oh, I wonder.
Good night, right? Good night, Reet.
Good night, Ree. I do the sneaky. Yeah, I'm like a fucking shadow.
Again, I feel like a kind of tourist to a lot of TTRPG things, but yeah, the vibe I get from 5th edition is it was sort of trying to grab on to the sort of revival of like it feels very tied into the sort of like Stranger Things sort of revival of like, hey, old school nerd is cool now. Like when Stranger Things had a scene where they were playing D&D, it felt like 5th edition is in response to that, where being like, we need to fucking get a hold of the zeitgeist now while we have it. We need to like be like, fuck everything like that we developed off of the basis of D&D since it's existed for like fucking 30 years now. We need to go back to basics. We need to have, hey, guess what? There's elves, there's dwarves, there's we're basic high fantasy. We have all the we have all the classic D&D things, and we've never developed on them before. Like it was trying to grasp onto that cultural moment of like everyone being like, hey, remember D&D from the 80s? You know?
So anyway, that's how you stealth your way through that section of the game.
Perfect.
You throw a bunch of grenades while you're invisible.
Silk's off. I need to sleep now, but I have many long rants on what's wrong with 5th edition. Yeah, good to hear. You've never played 5th edition, so you don't really have no basis to address it, but yeah.
Oh shit.
Domus, they even released a special edition with Stranger Things themed starter set for D&D and with an adventure based on what the kids were playing. Oh, I can't sit there. Can't even look at it, you know?
Big boss rank is in the bags. That's whatever.
Exactly.
Just came for this. I'll leave you to it. What the fuck? I would never hide anything from myself. Her. It's a tape of her. Juliana? No, man, our girl, Lila. When we were here before. You don't remember? No. It'll come back. Or not. He used to think I could get back there. To before, he was the Eon program. No, you know what? Fuck that. I'm breaking this loop for everyone. It's not us. Guess.
I love my gloves.
The one thing Juliana's got right.
Cult self-cessed, much to consider.
I mean,
Found her office yet. Real informant. Hey, hold on.
how like how physical is the form of Colt when he sends himself back like this?
I never got this, like, how... Yeah.
Like, is it just a hologram projection, or you can reach out and touch him?
Can I touch myself?
What are you doing?
Recording this for posterity.
Are you beating me at Lexicon?
It's happened before.
So show me what you've got.
I got this game.
Wow. Okay, I'll admit, I'm impressed.
I'm very impressive.
Where'd you even learn that word?
Who's the word king?
Is that your rack password? It's supposed to be a secret.
Who's the word king?
You're the word king.
Louder. For the record.
I bow to you, almighty word king Colt.
Zenith? Zenith. Yep, Lila was right. I played my password. Great. I've got all three.
Cool.
Just hope the hinges are rested shut. Don't be greedy, Colt.
Don't get greedy,
But
Colt.
yeah, I think it's weird divine providence that it just did. I didn't know really anything about Planescape's like story, but it has a lot of kind of similarities to Deathloop in that it has a sort of like Groundhog Day style setting for the main character.
Yeah, that you're sort of stuck in this sort of cycle. I just love, like, I love anything with an explicit time loop stuff. Although I think from what I understand, what I've okay, feel free to correct me, but the cycle in
It's not time shift.
it's not time manipulation. It's just that, like, your character resurrects and loses their memory, or like has lived many lives. Whereas I like time manipulation stuff.
I think it has a lot of the vibe of it. Like the I got to a tomb where it had a lot of information about myself, and one of the things that was written down was that one of the ultimate like edicts of the way that the nameless one lives his life is that he cannot destroy sources of information that tell him about himself, otherwise he'll be lost forever. Like and that's sort of like a thing in time loop stuff, is that like you have to work to you know, give yourself information. Like Colt himself here is like trying to like send sort of hollows of himself back. So it has that kind of vibe from it, but yeah, strictly in the
Oh,
terms
good.
of,
The
like,
game has done this again.
this is good.
Yeah, the menus just sometimes glitch out on PlayStation. Well, it's about midnight anyway,
Yeah,
so
I guess we'll stop there.
well, I'll just see where we're at.
Sure.
Yeah, I as a console player myself, I have a pet peeve of games that are like the UI is designed with like PC in mind,
Yeah.
and then they just port it across to console without any consideration. Really agitates me.
It feels like a sort of perverse PC player's revenge, because it used to be the opposite. There was a lot of games that were ported to PC that had
Right.
console controls in mind, and I feel like a lot of people have a chip on their shoulder about that.
Yeah. Do I want to keep that? Weapon trinkets, is there any rate of fire, big box, dead on, hipster? I mean, I honestly don't think any of these are like that. That's pretty good. I'll keep that. And then everything else.
How many streams away do you think you are from?
I think one more
one,
stream.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so the only thing I've got left to do now is I know how to if I go to the visionary leads. Right, I know how to kill Harriet.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to kill I have to the 3 passwords, so I can go and I need to go and do that. I need to go and investigate that. I don't exactly know how to kill Alexis, but I'll figure it out. I know how to kill Fear and Charlie. I know Wenji will be at the party, Igor will be at the party, and Alexis will be at the party. So, like, I know how to kill everyone, because in the morning I go to Harriet, kill her, tamper with the fireworks. Afternoon, or like, more, like, hang on, I guess like morning. Yeah, around noontime, I'm not exactly sure what to do. Afternoon, I go and kill Fear and Charlie, and then in the evening at the party, I kill Alexis, Igor, and Wenji.
Yeah.
Then I need to head to Updam to get on the rocket, and I can go and kill Juliana and end the game.
Yeah.
So I know how to do everything now. It's just going to be a couple of times trying it out to actually see if it works. So yeah, I think one more stream of this game, and then after that, my intention is to start streaming Devil May Cry.
Woo.
We'll start with the first one. I haven't played Devil May Cry 1 in a while. I kind of want to play through the game just to remind myself of what it's like, but also to kind of like buy most of the upgrades and stuff. Devil May Cry 3 is my favorite. I've played through about half of 4 and never finished it, and I haven't played 5. So I do want to play all the Devil May Cry games, except for 2. So that'll be my next stream project.
We'll see if we can turn you around on 2 midway through 1.
I doubt it. Like, I doubt
We'll
I'm gonna
see.
play 2. I have 2, but I won't. I probably won't play it. But what if you do? Well, if enough people
the
seem
demand is
interested,
there.
yeah, if enough people seem interested, we'll play 2. It's really short. You can finish it in one stream. Okay, that turns me around on it a bit. Yeah, maybe we'll play 2. Just just for the jokes. Oh, the dots and the lies.
I bet you could finish it in one stream.
I mean, I could finish in one stream if I play it and then go, this is dog water, and then don't play it anymore.
Aren't the like guns really overpowered in 2? Couldn't you just like shoot everything?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's boring.
We'll just yap through it.
Yeah, I guess
and
so.
watch the cutscenes.
But yeah, other than that, on Monday I might go back. I might play some more Guilty Gear, or I might start playing Granblue. I might do 2 Granblue streams per week. On Monday I'll start playing Cagliostro, and on Friday I'll play Beelzebub.
You have kind of like, now that you've gotten to Master Rank in Granblue, you've kind of unlocked the ability to just be like, you now play ranked for fun.
Yeah, now ranked is not stressful anymore, because I know I can't derank from Master Rank in Granblue for Grimner, so I can just play like ranked mode for fun now, and I get consistently like good games because I play against like people of a similar or higher skill level, and I don't have to worry about what I used to have to worry about. Was if I deranked in Granblue 1, I'd feel a little bit bad about losing my rank, whatever, but that's just ego. But also, whenever I would derank, I would end up just stomping people for like 15 minutes, and then I get back up to the rank that I was supposed to be at. Yeah, now that I've actually like hit like Master Rank at Granblue, I can just play ranked mode against other like Master Rank players, and I feel like I'm learning more about the game, and I'm getting sort of more serious about it now that there's sort of like fewer stakes involved in playing it. Because I can't lose rank. I can just lose like my number.
A ranked system is ideal for, like you said, playing people that are actually at your skill level or at least a little above. But it also comes with the downside of, I don't want to lose my rank. I know it's all just like, listen, it's all made up. It's all just a representation of your innate skill level. But it does hurt still.
Weirdly enough, I kind of like the Bleach Rebirth of Souls system, in that your rank is just like a number. And you go up and down, and it doesn't really matter. The rank system in Bleach has a bunch of things wrong with it, which I don't like. Yeah, but I do sort of like... I like being able to play a fighting game and not have to worry about deranking and losing. Like, I'm not going to have to worry about losing rank and playing against people who, I don't want to sound like I've got a huge ego about this, but I don't have to play against people who I'm just better than, because one is unfair to them, because there are players I could play against in Grand Blue who simply just don't know the game as well as I do, because they haven't spent, I'm gonna show off a little bit here, but like, if you look in the bottom right, 490 hours in Grand Blue, and that's on PS5.
Yeah,
I have another 200 hours on
PS4.
PS4. Yeah, exactly. So, I've at this point spent something like 700 hours in Grand Blue. So, obviously I understand the game a little bit more than someone who's only put like 100 hours in. Ranking down used to feel bad, not just because like, oh, I lose my status symbols of like my rank badge and my points or whatever, but it was also this that like, well, I have to play against people who don't necessarily understand the game the way I do until I get back up to the level that I'm actually at. Whereas now that like I'm sort of ratcheted into master rank and can't come down, even if I lose a bunch of games, I still get to play games that are consistently or have a consistent level of challenge and like for me, and I'm not going to end up being match made against anyone who is probably just going to get frustrated fighting against me. But anyway, yeah, we're yapping now about fighting games.
Yeah, I gotta pee quick.
Yeah, I've got to pee as well. I'm gonna probably play a bit more Death Stranding after this, although I haven't done my Genshin dailies either. So I've got so many games I need to play. It's too much. It's too much.
Whiny Canyon reviews. I need to play more Planescape.
Anyway, thanks for coming along, everyone. Let's play some fighting games. Maybe tomorrow. I'm probably a bit too drunk for fighting games now.
All right. Bye.
Bye.